And we're on. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for listening, tuning in. You're now checking out, I don't know, that's perfect, the most professional podcast out of South Austin. I'm your host, Mario from the South Side. I'm joined by my co-host, Troy. And today we're sitting down with Poverty Island ENT, Big Dirty or Dirty Brigante, and Mr. Jumbo. How are y'all doing, bro?
Shit, we're doing all right.
Yeah, I appreciate y'all coming through because having y'all here tonight is a kind of a big deal as far as like ideal guests that I would want on the show.
Shit, that's an honor. I haven't done nothing in a long time.
For those of you, I guess, because I do like want to go on and talk about how like you guys are pretty legendary in the scene, especially coming out of Montopolis. Would you like to let people know who y'all are and where y'all come from?
Yeah, I mean, we just out of Austin. We really come from everywhere. When they say Poverty Island, the name came from Montopolis, which was something that they called the neighborhood back, before I was born, 60s, 70s, or whatever, because, it was real poor or whatnot. That's a whole nother story I go into. But that's where I got the name from. But when we built it up, not everybody's from Montopolis. I got my boys from Dove Springs, from the east side, from the different zip codes, 0221. So, yeah, like, I got 04. Like, we're everywhere. The name was just because I was kind of the one who brought it all together, and that was, like, my label. So when we started blooming, that was kind of what we fell under. But like, Big Tex, he's from the east side. He had Village Music Group, and Anonymous has his MFM, and you know what I mean? Like Little Tone's from my street, so Little Tone just fall under the PIE, but he also does his own thing. Like right now he's with TSF with Sauce Walker and them. They doing the collabs and shit. So yeah, that's kind of where that came from. But
that's dope, yeah. Because like as I like to like mention a lot when we're talking here about the like. I know it's like I'm sure y'all notice that it's a whole new wave of artistry coming in, and like it's a different generation. Yeah. But it's also cool to acknowledge like the history behind it, like who's been like paving the way for this to be possible. Because I know when I first found out about that Austin had a scene back when I was in middle school and shit. Like Poverty Island was one of the biggest names that I first like found out and shit. And everybody was hip because it's like everybody that I knew like is either from Dove or Montopolis, and it was just like one of those things that was like,
it was like
proud to be proud to be listening to that shit, because I mean it's hearing people rapping like that you're like shit, this is what I thought was only on radio music, but rapping your neighborhood, rapping your street or what have you, so it's dope to see it.
I think that not to toot my own horn, but I think it got a little better when we actually could rap, because a lot of people have been doing it, but then when it came to it, we were actually all pretty good at rapping. I won't say I was good back then, but I was all right. Like now, I'm saying, I put my money up on myself or anybody. But when we first started, it was like we weren't just like that typical shit that people were doing, So I think everybody was still riding that screw wave and freestyling, you know what I mean? And we came in and we were actually writing songs, hooks, and you know what I mean, like.
Because I do know like the prayer context and all that stuff. It's like you had how you would do your melodic and the singing into the raps, and that was pretty dope. Because it was at that time it was like kind of like a different direction to what everybody was used to and shit.
And I think that's what set me apart, because I I got that old Bone Thugs and Harmony style kind of mixed with, you know what I mean? So,
but you also like you be rapping fast too, just spitting and just running through that shit.
Yeah,
so that's dope.
So yeah, that's kind of what set me. Like I said, we're in Texas, so everybody was kind of on the I done came down, I'm gonna come through wave, and I came in there, and they were like, oh shit, like, this Mexican tripping.
When was Poverty Island born? Like, how did that idea like come to life?
Man, so. We used, like I said, me and Dove Dom, man, since we were kids, like, we used to just be out there rapping. We used to have this van, and my homeboy Ron would play the piano and shit. He's a little older than us, so he'd play the piano, and we'd be sitting there freestyling, and we'd be passing around tape recorders and shit. And then, it was just for fun back then. And then when I seen, like, the scene start coming about, I was like, shit, we could do this shit, you know what I mean? And Jumbo was kind of the one who pushed me, because he would hear me freestyle, and he'd be like, you should record that shit. And I'm like, man, fuck that shit, because I didn't want to rap. It, like, to me, at that time, to me, rappers were fucking corny. You know what I mean? It's like, these dudes are fucking corny.
And what time period was this at? Like,
shit, the early 2000s. Like, yeah, I'd say 02, 03 was when, you know what I mean? Like, we were rapping in the 90s, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. 98, 99. But, like, in 02, 03, when I started seeing the scene move around, I was kind of like, nah, that shit's whack. You know what I mean? But Jumbo was like, hey, you should rap, you should rap, you should rap. And I ain't gonna lie, we dropped the first mixtape. That shit was trash.
Looking back at it, it's how everybody usually starts. Our first episode was
What's
terrible.
crazy, so like people who we were in the streets with back then, they, oh, hey man, let me get that Brighter Days. No. No. You ain't getting that shit. If you got that shit, break that shit.
I was like, are you sure you want it?
Yeah. Like, because now I learned how to mix and master music and write music. And so when I hear that shit, it's just embarrassing. Like, damn, dude, we were recording on a fucking tape recorder. And, it's just garbage, like all around garbage to me. But to them, like, you see it now, because I'll go listen to shit like some Master P that sounds like shit. But I liked it. So I still like it, even though it sounds like shit.
It's like a throwback memory.
Yeah, I think it takes them back to that nostalgic time when they were, in middle school or high school or whatever. So, but I still won't give them the CD.
Like, no, I just listen to it on my own.
Yeah,
that's dope. That's cool. I guess is it a trip now, looking back and seeing like how far it is actually took y'all when you were like, you could have been like, nah, I'm not gonna do it and never done it.
Yeah, I mean, because like From the outside looking in, it's a different story. We don't ever like sit down and be like, "Oh man, we did all this shit." It's just you were doing it, but like sometimes people will like what trips me out is like when I see people on Facebook and they'll start comparing us to these big time artists. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh y'all think y'all PIE and like what the fuck you be thinking like we ain't, you know what I'm saying? Like we ain't shit either. You know what I mean? But like when we sit back and think about it, I think I have done some pretty cool shit. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like I've toured and traveled the world and done stuff with Grammy-winning artists, and you know what I mean? Like, I had Bone Thugs and Harmony in my front yard. We did drop the song in the back. I had Trey in my house, Amanda Perez in my house. You know what I mean? Like,
Killer Mike.
Yeah, Killer Mike was in my house from Outkast. We shot videos up there. Like, man, the list goes on. And we're in Metropolis. We're in the middle of the hood. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I got all these guys, like, point blank shooting videos in my house.
Damn,
like, you know what I mean? Like, my house is probably on like 40 videos that you wouldn't even know that it was, you know what I mean? Like just a random, you type in and it pop up and like, the fuck they sitting on Dirt's porch? You know what I'm saying? Because when people come into town, they fuck with me and it's like, oh yeah, we should video right here, fuck it. You know what I mean?
That's dope. That's really cool.
So that's yeah. From the outside looking in, I guess it's we don't really see it like that because we just day to day we're going. You know what I mean? Like
that's cool. And it like you said, it has expanded, and you've had your other. It's like Dove Dunn. You said that's how y'all started off, and before we go on to what that's gonna follow up to, but I want to talk about the other artists that you've invested in because you said you had Tex, you had Anonymous, you have Tone. What made it easy to actually have them be part of the family and
so me and Anonymous, man, we was in the streets gangbanging. That's how I met Anonymous. You know what I mean? Like before the rap shit, I was actually getting into a fight on Riverside Drive. I don't know if y'all remember when Riverside used to jump, back in the 90s, 2000s. That's how I met him. Him and my brother Brandon, rest in peace, he just passed away last week. We were out there going to fight some guys. They were trying to jump us, and he just happened to drive by. And he knew Brandon from the neighborhood. They were both from 2-1. So he hopped out, and he was like, what's up? Y'all need some help? You know what I'm saying? So we ended up getting to this big old scuffle. And after that, it was just like, shit, he's about it. Fuck it. He's riding with me. And then I hung out with him probably like 2 years before I even knew he rapped. You know what I mean? Like, he just pulled up to my house one day and he's like, yeah, I just came from the studio. I was like, you rap? Fuck it. I rap too. Shit, you want to rap? And then we started freestyling and shit. And that's when we started really like writing music. But it wasn't like, like, hey, I met you on some rap shit. I met him like in the streets. And really, like, I met all of them guys just, without rap. It just happened that they could rap. The only person that I met through rap, which is crazy as hell, is Little Tone. And he actually lived on my street, but he's just like 5-6 years younger than me.
Okay.
So I never, you know what I'm saying? He was a little kid. I ain't fuck with him. But he lived across the street from my DJ. And every day he would tell my DJ, man, put me in the studio, put me in the studio, put me in the studio. My DJ, he's a street cat too. He's like, I ain't finna fuck recording. I got money to make. You know what I mean? At that time. And then one day I seen Little Tone. We had my studio in Fairway, and I was taking it out, and I was moving to another apartment across the street. And when I was walking out with the microphone, Lil Tone was out there hustling. He was like, what's up, man? You want to make $1 million with that microphone? And I blew him off. I was like, man, fuck this dude. You know what I'm saying? So I took off. I go set my studio up, and then like 2 days later, T-Kid hits me. He's like, man, I got this little dude. He's been bugging the fuck out of me. Lil Tone used to walk around a backpack books. That's how long ago it was. He had binders and binders. Man, I said, "Oh, you want to rap? Fuck it. Come on, come to the studio." Put him in the studio. He's pulling out books like he's in school looking for. I'm like, what the fuck? This dude like. That's what he did all day. That's what he still does to this day. Like, dude just doesn't stop rapping, bro. That's why Lil Tone will drop a fucking album a week if you let him. You know what I mean? Like, was it last year? He was dropping fucking. I think he dropped like 6 or 7 albums last year. Not mixtapes, albums. You know what I'm saying? He drop them 5, 6 videos. Let's go to the next one. 5, 6 video. Like, you know what I'm saying? He just loves making music. Yeah. Me, I'm lazy. I don't like to do that shit.
When was the last time you dropped something like the most recent project, I guess I would say?
My Nostalgic Nightmares album that I dropped
in 2019.
Yeah. I got one right now. And it's fire. But I'm not gonna drop it until Dove Dawn's drops.
Okay.
Me and him probably got like 20 tracks right now that are done. It's me and him. But like I said, we haven't been able to do nothing because of the pandemic. Yeah. So I'm like, you know what? We were all the way over here. We're like, man, you know what? We need to drop you a video. We need to start promoting you. You know what I'm saying? Because people don't know him. He's been gone 13 years. So he just can't. He missed the whole run. He was hearing about us, you know what I'm saying, when he was in the penitentiary. So he came home, and he just came home at the wrong time. Like, you know, never in the wrong time, but he came home when it was like,
pandemic.
We can't throw a $20,000 concert if you can't fill the venue, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Shit, and you said that he's been with you since like whenever y'all first started. And
I've known him longer than I've known any artist on my label.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Besides Jumbo, you know what I'm saying? But like I said, we were all kids together. And really, on that Money Topless album, he might have been on the one. Yeah, matter of fact, he freestyled on that Brighter Days too. But that Money Topless album, the very first album I dropped, he's on 2 tracks. He didn't get to see the album come out. You know what I mean? So we recorded those. We recorded a couple more songs when my computer crashed. But those are the 2 that I had, and they sound shitty as hell. But I still put them out because I was like, I can't get them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I put him on there. But if you go back to Money Topless, he's on there. Don Lee, he's on shit. I don't know. I don't even remember the names of the songs. It's been so long. But he didn't get to see the run. I don't know how long y'all been following us, but we used to do local shows at Ruta Maya's. And like right when we started doing that is when we started recording. Because we were doing that shit. We didn't even have an album out.
Oh, shit.
We were like, man, let's just do concerts. Like, fucking, you all be superstars and shit. Like, you don't have no music. Like, I don't care. I'm gonna do concerts. So we're like,
throwing shows and shit.
Yeah.
That's dope.
That was we would record a song and then go perform that shit. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, this song's cool. They like it. And like, you know what I'm saying? We would just kind of go off the crowd. Like, if you like it, yeah, we're gonna keep it. We're not. You know what I mean? So
that's cool.
All super unorganized.
Is it weird looking back now? Seeing how, I guess, because I've noticed that even Montopolis is starting to get a taste of like the gentrification, and more homeboys be telling me like, bro, the crackhead that used to be across my street ain't there no more. I guess some white people living there.
Yeah, they're walking their poodles and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, we still holding it down, but like, what happened was all the old people who were passing away, their kids, you know, they're from a poor neighborhood. They ain't never seen no $200,000-$300,000. What are they gonna do? And then because I own properties in Metropolis, our property taxes went from 1 year. Let's say I was paying like I have empty lot. I was paying $500 a year in property taxes. The next year it hopped up to $2,500.
God,
that fast, right? And then the next year it hopped up to $5,000. No lot, no house on the lot, just empty lot. And I'm like, damn, you know, I'm blessed to be able to pay that.
Yeah.
But you can imagine this guy, he working his ass off, and now he got a $10,000 debt every year that on top of whatever he's doing that, you know, they might not live. That was grandma's house.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like, I'm not going to put $10,000 more dollars. I'm living over here in Del Valley, and I got to take care of grandma's house now too. And I don't think that they don't think about like you could have renovated it and rented it out, but they think the fast money. So they sell them, you know. And I saw somebody sell the house across the street from mine, or not to the left of mine. They sold it for like $40,000. Dude came in, tore that shit down, slapped up 2 of them, and sold them for $350 each on the same property. He did that shit on 2 lots on my street. You know what I mean? And that was 5-6 years ago. Our lots have quadrupled now. You know what I mean? Yeah. So like a $10,000 lot's worth like $500,000 now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
they're just paying for the land so they can just build whatever the fuck they want. Exactly. Go up.
You know what? That honestly does make sense because I am from Montopolis. Mm-hmm. I grew up on Carnation, and then you know. It was my grandma's house, and you know she had like I think I have like 14 aunts and uncles, And they all, moved out. We moved to Del Valley. That's weird how you said Del Valley. Like that's like down the street.
We ain't trying to leave the hood. We getting it's close. That's the thing about people from Metropolis. You from Metropolis, man. That we take that shit to heart. You know what I mean? I got the bridge tattooed across my chest. Like, we take that shit to heart. Whether you're in the street or not in the street, old, young, like, everybody I know from Metropolis is Metropolis. The same way y'all are at Dove Springs. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like, you feel like that's family. Because I know, and not to get off the subject, but, like, I'd be downtown and the motherfucker be fighting. And if I knew he was from Metropolis, I would jump in for him. Just because. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
that's family.
Yeah, it was stupid mentality. Not going to say it's not stupid, because I'm older now and I understand it's dumb as shit, but like, that's just the mentality people have. You're like, like, you don't want to be away from home. I guess it, makes you feel.
The pride thing and shit.
So we had moved to Del Valley, and then, like, I was getting babysit, like, every day. I would go to my grandma's house. Then I'll go to the rec, go to the swimming pool, and then they built the library. I was there whenever they built it, and then when I was still in Del Valley, I would still take the city bus, 350, and the day it would go from the library to playing basketball at the rec, and then going swimming, and then going back to my grandma's to get something to eat, and then taking either my mom got off of work, she'd pick me up, take me back to Del Valley, or I'll take the bus home.
Yeah.
So I as much as like I'm from Del Valley, I always rep Montopolis, and I mean every picture that me and him were kind of in, he always put up Dove, I always put up Montopolis.
Yeah, because that's just where your grandma from. That's home base. You know what I mean? Like, that's where your nostalgic, you know what I'm saying, comes from. Like, you're a little kid.
And Montopolis definitely has like a lot of history behind it, because you go to like Montopolis. I've been to his family reunions. They have a huge family. Yeah. It expands to where like people from Montopolis originally are from the east side, and it's all interconnected, and it's like a bigger point to it. It has the history behind it, and people don't want to go that shit.
It trickles down, and that's all it is. They went from there to here, and then to Dove Springs, because now everybody that I know who's old, my age or older, in Dove Springs, their family's from Montopolis.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, it was just a new neighborhood. They shot out that way, or they went to Del Valley. You know what I mean? Like, but people don't like to leave their area. I don't know why. You know what I mean?
The area of comfort.
It was cheaper at that time. They could afford to
that's
do
true.
it.
And then also you were saying like the parents. It kind of sucks that whenever my grandmother passed away, the family kind of all went their own way. And right now the only people living at that house is my mom and my aunt and my uncle. And even then it honestly. But with like the environment, that's like the people, the gentrification basically, they're trying to buy the house, and they're trying to just
every day. I'll get like 5 or 6 letters in the mail every day. People come by, they'll put their little papers on my fence. They'll call me, we want to buy your home. We want to buy your home. Like, whatever, you know what I mean? But like, when you have a lot of people to get, like you said, you had a big family. Sometimes they can't come to an agreement. You know what I mean? Like, one wants to sell, one don't, because they all become part of that. When the grandma dies, they all get their percentage. You know what I'm saying? So to keep them from fighting, sometimes they just sell it all off. You know what I mean? And I've seen that happen a couple of times as well. So it's just like, like, if I knew in 2005, 2010 what I know now, I would have bought all them properties. I could have bought properties up for $5,000, $10,000. You know what I mean? That are $500,000 properties now. Like, I would have been rich. You know what I mean? Yeah. But at the same time, I would have been part of the gentrification if I had done that. So it's like, but.
Yeah, I feel like it's hard to win that situation, because unless you're actually doing something that'll benefit the neighborhood. Neighborhoods, and instead of just pushing everybody out and not giving them a chance. Because I don't know if y'all seen that those apartment complexes. I don't know where they're from, where they've been out of gas, and I think just gas and water for like over a month since the storm hit.
Street.
Yeah, and now they're trying to make them all move out so they could like tear that bitch down and build whatever condos or businesses on there. So it's
that's strategic. They did it on purpose. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, that's what they do. They do that stuff on purpose.
It just worked in their favor too.
Yeah, I seen it. I saw this happen in Fairway. So I don't know. A friend of mine named Mahelica, they were real into the neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got a lot of pull in the neighborhood, so I would get a lot of people to come out there and vote for them to stay in the city council. I don't even know what it's called, but some of the city council, because they were trying to build condos all over here by the bridge, and we fought for them not to. They had to do affordable housing to keep our stuff low. Yeah. We fight, just money wins most of the time. You know what I mean? So we try and we vote and we do what we have to do. But at the end of the day, big bank takes little bank. But I've seen them do that in Fairway. They started to fix it up, put central AC in it, and I tried. I mean, some of the people are still there, but I try to tell them, like, they had a contract with the city, from my understanding. I might not be correct on this, but from what I understand, they had a contract with the city to keep it low-income housing for like 40 years or 80 years, and that contract went out like 2 years ago.
Oh, shit.
So now they're slowly trying to get the people out of there
Yeah.
because they want to tear it down and make, condos, make a bunch of money on it, which, I mean, in the business sense, it's cool because we're surrounded by the highways. We're
By
10
the
minutes from
airport.
downtown. We're 10 minutes from the airport. Like when all my friends, they go fly, they'll drop in my house. They'll leave their cars in my empty lot, and they'll take off. Like, I understand why they want the area. You know what I mean? It's not like I don't understand. But, like, for me, all my people are there. I grew up there. Like, I wouldn't want to, because I know some of these old people, they can't afford those property taxes. And some of them, they're to the age where they don't have to pay. Like, they're over 65. Like, and that's cool for them. But, it's like we're teetering on that thing. It's like, if my neighbor can't afford it and they sell it, put a condo up, and then this one does it,
you get outnumbered.
Yeah, like my house is going to be, the property taxes on my house is going to be more than my house. You know what I mean? So they kind of fold your hand where you're like, I got to sell eventually, unless like me, I'm kind of stubborn though. So I'm just like, fuck it, I'm going to pay that shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They always tell me like, why you don't just sell and get out of there? You fucking, the price I pay over there, I can have a big old badass house. I'm like, yeah, but my neighbors
principle.
my brother live across the street. My brother live next door. My aunt live next door. Like, I when I leave my house, I feel secure. I feel safe. Like somebody's always watching my shit. Like my car's out there, they're watching my shit. I wouldn't get there like if I just moved to, let's say, random ass Brunberg or something. You know what I mean? Like now I don't know nobody. And it's like, and then like for me, like you said, you never know because I've become somewhat of a. I guess you'd say public figure. People know me, and even if I don't know that they know me, you just never know. They could see me and be like, no, that's that guy in PI. He got that money. You know what I mean? Even if I ain't got shit on, I could be broke right now. You don't know that, but the way the rap game's set up, it makes people think that shit. You know what I mean? Like, oh, yeah, it's an illusion. You know what I mean? So you never know. So it's more comfort than anything for me.
Yeah, I get that. That's dope. Well, I think it is about time for a shot time. I know you all are not drinking, but feel free to cheers with each other water. Dove Dunn, are you taking the shot or are you just sipping, bro? Hey, well, I want to take the shot to stay happy you're back home, bro.
Yes, sir.
Cheers, though.
I think everybody's sipping with me. So. I'm on the wagon. I'm trying to stay on the wagon.
It's all great, bro. You mind if I play some music?
Yeah.
You want me to take it old school or play something a little bit
Some
new?
brighter days.
Play something new.
Brighter
man,
days. I can play
this is my thing though. So like this is why I tell people this, because if you've never heard my music and I play something from 2005 and it sounds like shit, even though you like it, or you like it, or you like it, the average listeners be like, that dude's fucking trash.
It's just old school to them because it's different generation, like a different.
So that's why like when I tell people like play something new. At least it sounds good for the first one. If you want to play something nostalgic later, then that's cool. You know what I mean? But like, play something that's like, yeah, all right, he can rap. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As a first impression. But if you play whatever you want, I'm just saying that's why.
I'm gonna go with This Crazy World.
Okay. The Trey feature. Yeah.
Yeah, it's on here. You can do that. We can still talk to it though. And this is I think it's playing.
You see, Mac Man, who shot that video,
I was about to say, yeah.
he's from Dove Springs, but he's from Montopolis. You know what I'm saying? Like that goes like to some people. His whole family's from my neighborhood.
I ain't gonna lie, I think that superhero.
Yeah.
Change that audio output.
Yeah, that superhero is hard.
Go to system preferences. Go to sound and go to output. Put headphones.
Okay. See, I'm not that tech savvy as I once thought. So there we go. It sounds a lot better now. This Crazy World, Big Dirty, featuring Trey the Truth. And yes, On the Real Films that's my OG Mac Man.
Yeah.
I used to come to his crib over there in Dove to record as a little kid and just get high as fuck and just spit my little 16 bars and shit. He'd hype me up and shit.
Yeah, see, me and Mac, we go way back, 90s, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Before you get in this game,
it's a long time.
Always handle your business.
Even like this, I'm a big procrastinator. So this song, I've recorded this song like 2 or 3 years before I even put this song out.
Yeah.
It was just sitting there, you know what I mean? Like, I think I put out in like 2010. I've had the songs like 2007. So some that's why some of my shit starts to sound a little dated. You're like, you sound like you should have done that 2-3 years ago. Like, yeah, it should have been done. You know what I mean? Like
The intro to the song, I just had it in. Whenever you hear it back, or when people hear it, intro, I'll tell you.
Travel, trying to make it out this gutter. Every day's a constant battle. But if I make it up to heaven, God forgive me for my sin. Oh, I did the best I could do in this crazy world I'm in. Still on that road, there's so many minutes travel. Trying to make it out this gutter. Every day's a constant battle. If I make it up to heaven, God forgive me for my sin. It was a deadly game to play, but I played the game to win. Please, Father, forgive me for all the wicked things I show. Still down for the block with the Glock and low. It's kinda hard to say I won't bang no more when it's all I know, when it's all I show. To get it to the fullest of my heartbeat, I gotta make that money slinging on the dark street. Same game, cocaine, marijuana, heroin, balloons, got my hood out of the sun on another mission. Get my niggas off the block, slanging CDs, no more slanging rocks. Doing legit, man, fuck them cops, and I bet people sitting to my heartbeat. Stuff they gotta get it, like enemies necessary. Getting off the block 'cause it's getting scary. The hustle game that I got is legendary. Gonna live on the streets when I'm scared and buried. My grandmother died and cried today. All the feelings I got inside to hide away. Sometimes wishing I could just fly away, but I can't, so I get high and try to pray. I gotta stand tall here and count my blessings. But looking back at my life is so depressing.
You can talk through it. Over it. You
You
can rap to it too, bro. Just act like you're performing again.
And then people didn't know I do make all these beats, like 90% of these beats.
Producer and rapper, entrepreneur.
All that shit, videos, everything. Like all the magnums, I was telling Mac, hey Mac, you need to do that. It's funny that I got Trey on the song because everybody's always like, you're the Mexican Trey because he sound like Trey. He sound like Trey. I was like, yeah. He's still doing this thing.
Have you ever heard of not that you ever heard, but I used to hear a story back in the day about how like Trey and Zero, how they would come over and obviously do shows a lot and to Austin and shit. I had heard a story about, I don't know if you're familiar or if you can fact check this, that they came to Austin at some point and they had a show, but then they started dogging Austin. And I don't know if they said if it was either you or Mac Man that was like, nah, fuck that shit, and stood up from Austin. It was just like, basically just checked them on that shit or whatever.
No, so this is a long time ago. They had beef with some guys from the east side. I don't remember the names or nothing like that, but it was it Silverbacks? See, that was the only beef they had that I know of, because when they were coming down here before they popped, they used to come down to what was that record place that Trampilla and them had out there?
Oh, on the south side.
Yeah. This is 2000, 99, 2000. This is a long time ago. We were kids.
I was in kindergarten.
Yeah, like,
we were kids.
This is like,
We
we were still in school.
On the south side.
So they used to come down here in the promo. They used to do promo out here, which is smart. It's so close.
Yeah.
We kind of took their map and did the same shit. But they would come down here, but they knew Mac Man and Trey are somehow related. I don't know.
Oh shit.
You know what I mean? Like what the connection is there. I don't want to get it wrong and say something I shouldn't say, but they related. So they knew each other. So for them to be like, you know what I mean, having words or something like that, I don't see it happening. And I've never seen them be assholes like that. And then, you know what I'm saying? Like with all the encounters I've had with Trey, he's a really cool guy.
Yeah.
He's like you seen in that video, he was out there with us by himself. He wasn't tripping. You know what I mean? Like he's a down to earth dude. So I don't see. I've never heard that story. The only thing that I heard was when they were beefing with them Silverbacks.
Yeah.
And it was like over a DVD that Will Hustle had recorded or something. But I don't even know the politics behind that, so I don't really want to speak on it. But as far as the other thing, I never heard it. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
every time they came down, it was cool. You know.
Yeah,
what I'm
I've
saying?
always been curious about it because I was like, damn, like is that true? Is that for real? Like, I don't know.
I'm gonna go ask next time I see you.
Yeah,
You know?
like somebody from Austin beefing with you, bro.
Yeah, like
that's-
yeah.
Oh no, I was gonna say, and that's true. Trey is. I've like every time Trey comes down here, and he's really with his little entourage. He's really cool. If you go up to him, get pictures. I met him like 5 times. I was like, yo, that's Trey. Like he's here again.
Yeah,
There's
Trey.
no-
Yeah,
It's like their second home, so they're always down here.
yeah. So they, you know what I'm saying, like Dougie D, that's our boy. You know what I'm saying, from
Oh, yeah.
Gorilla Mob. I don't know if y'all
Shouts out to
listen.
Dougie.
Yeah, shout out Dougie D, that's our boy. You know what I mean? But shit, Trey cool too. Like I said, they just, you know, they're just people like the rest of us. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like I don't ever see, but I can see what, you know. Sometimes when people, they be at them clubs and they be drunk and they start tripping. You know what I mean? Like I wouldn't put it past them to get into a fight with them because I seen it happen.
Something
to
little
motherfuckers.
happened.
Yeah. Matter of fact, this was so long ago, I couldn't even tell you. They did get into, remember that time we were at a club on 60, on the corner of 6th Street and like, man, we were still in high school, bro. Somebody was throwing money in their face. Chameleonaire, Paul Wall was there.
Yeah,
This-
it was on 6 and Red River. I
Red
believe.
River.
There's a
This
little-
how long ago this
Yeah.
was. Paul Wall, Chameleonaire, Trey, Roe, Doug. I'm talking about anybody you think of right now that was a big artist. They were in this was probably like a 60-person little fucking club. We were packed in there. They weren't even famous before they even dropped that Paul Walker Millionaire album.
Oh shit!
I think Trey was doing his Losing
It
Composure.
was a Losing Composure.
Like this,
tour.
you know what I'm saying? Like
That's
they
what
got
it
into a
was.
fight there. We were just there because we were like, fuck, we ain't got nothing else to do. You know what I mean? And we had known them from the mixtapes. Like we didn't know these guys. We just like, he's a big Chameleonaire fan. He's like, man, this boy killing these mixtapes in the Swisher House. And, you know, when the whole Swisher House thing was barely starting, I seen him. I don't remember who I was fighting. It was a big Mexican dude was throwing money at him, and they ended up fighting on the stage and shit and piling outside. And back then nobody even gave a shit. They just broke the fight up and then went back taking pictures and shit. You know what I mean? Like that's the only time I ever seen him like get into.
There wasn't no video phones back then. There wasn't.
Nah.
You
Yeah.
know, if
That's
it was recording,
crazy.
they were recording like this back then. You know?
Yeah, they had that, you know what I'm
Big
saying?
ass
Like for
camera.
somebody to have that footage, it's on a VHS cassette tape somewhere. Like that's how
Damn.
long ago that was.
A camcorder just holding.
Yeah, like that's
It wasn't no
the
camera.
big
it was
ones.
just
The
the
big
it was on
ones.
the
Yeah, like
shoulders.
this
The
is a long
VHS
time.
time.
Yeah, the VHS.
Yeah,
was the-
where you had to pop the in it. Yeah.
Damn, that's funny.
That's
Shit.
great. That's the only time I ever seen that, like them actually. But like I said, they weren't famous back then. They weren't riding around with entourage and shit. They just, regular guys back then. They were doing promo before they popped. I still got that shit. So I got the Gorilla Mob Rise album signed. I knew they were gonna pop. When I heard that Rise song, I was like, these dudes, that's it. They're gonna pop. You know what I mean? Like, and then they popped like 2 or 3 albums after that. Like when they really got
No,
big.
yeah, they definitely had a good run, and I was hype every time. Like whenever Zero and Trey would do like their old shows before they stopped touring or whatever. So I was a huge fan of them and shit. So
That's one of my biggest goals is to try to get all 3 of them guys to do a concert.
Bring Gorilla
I
Mob
want
back.
I want a Gorilla Mob concert.
how hard do you think that would be now?
I don't know.
I've seen some stuff where they're all together.
We're working.
but
I'm not trying to spread no rumors. And I'm
Yeah.
just saying, man. Dougie,
I
my boy
hope
Dougie
it's
posted
true.
some stuff.
But
Speaking of, the music, do you have any? I mean, are those your influences whenever you're listening to them in high school?
I listened to the Screw tapes and the Swisher House and all that shit, but I think more of my influence came like from rap a lot. I'm a big Scarface fan, and then Bone Thugs and Harmony. Like that was why I had to get a track with one of the guys from Bone. You know what I mean? Like that was like my shit. By the time Gorilla Mob had came out already, because we're almost the same age, probably they're probably a couple years older than me. They were like probably out of high school and we were still in high school, but we were a couple years apart. So I wouldn't say they influenced me, but I still like their music. But so as far as the shit I was listening to in the early '90s, like I said, Scarface, Wu-Tang Clan, Tupac, Dre, Cube, mostly West Coast shit. You know what I mean? Shit like that. Do or Die. More of the tongue flipping shit.
Have you ever ever since you started, has it always been like you used like rap fast and then triple the flow and all that?
Yeah, I just stopped doing that now. Like on this next album that I'm dropping, you'll hear it's all punchlines and bars. Like, so when I first started doing it, I did do the fast rapping shit, and we were doing more storytelling. But now that I'm older, like people don't know I can rap like that because to me, like shit's really fucking easy. It's like we're witty, you know what I'm saying? Like I'll burn you up. We start clowning, I'm gonna burn you up. So I just started doing the same thing on these records now. So this next one that I drop, it's just bar after bar after bar, and you're not even gonna know it's the same person until the hook comes, and you're like, all right, that's Dirk. You know what I mean?
Excited for that. That's gonna be dope.
Yeah.
Shit.
And then sitting on the fucking you ever tried to rap fast for 30 minutes when you're on stage? That shit, you gotta be in shape for that shit. I'm too old for that shit now.
You gotta be like Beyonce. I heard that she like does her singing. No, she tries to sing while running on heels. I think some shit like that where she like her air is like on tip top shit. You know, like she goes above beyond and shit. So god damn.
She's like, have y'all ever seen Tech Nine perform live? Do you know who Tech Nine is?
Yeah.
That dude's that dude is what I started trying to base my live shows off of. I was like, that guy is the fucking shit.
Is that your favorite fast rapper?
Yeah, well, I didn't even know I went to a concert. My boy Juan from the Criminals, he's part of PIE as well. He was like, "You got to go see this dude live," and I was like, "I don't know, man," because I had heard that song. He had put a song on the radio. I'm gonna say stop. I'm gonna tell. Oh, that song. I was like, that song sucks. I don't like that song. You know what I mean? No disrespect, Tech. But I was like, nah, I don't like this shit. They're like, you got to see this guy live. And when I saw him live and he was doing all the dancing and running and the fucking fireworks, I was like, wow, this guy's a fucking show. Yeah. Then I went back and started listening to his music. I bought every album he had there and I started listening. I was like, oh, this guy can rap. Yeah. But I didn't know, I was already older by that time. I was probably like 23, 24 by the time I got into Tech Nine. But I wouldn't say he was an influencer because I didn't like his early albums. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, I think there's a video. I don't know if you know who Logic is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's a video of him and Logic going to try to see if they can spit the most syllables, and then they're like going at it, and then I think Logic wins by saying like a couple of words that he couldn't say or pronounce. But I mean, seeing him live, I haven't seen him live, but I mean, I'm pretty sure he can, rap fast, like fast.
You never seen Tech Nine live?
Nah.
Bro, it should change your life. That shit will make you not enjoy rap concerts anymore.
I think I caught him with I want to say it was Immortal Technique. I think they were on the same. Immortal Technique is like a whole another story there.
Bro.
But
and then now you got to go see him at his concert. Don't see him at South by Southwest. When it's a Tech Nine, I promise you that dude comes out like Metallica, bro. They've got all the pyros and the fucking TVs and the synchronized dancing and that shit is Beyonce level.
It's gonna make you a fan.
It'll make you. You don't even have to like his music. That's how I became a fan. Watching him on stage, I said that guy right there is something else.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. Even if all of his words had sucked when I bought his album, I would have still gonna see him live because you're getting drunk and you're watching that and you're like, rappers get up there and they're like, yeah,
boring. A lot of times it's boring. Yeah, like just
if you
the vocals and that sounds like, damn, bro, like come on, you can do more. Like
if you don't like their songs already, you're not gonna like their show. You know what I mean? Like if I go to a concert, I gotta like your music to enjoy it. Yeah. With that guy, I didn't have to. I was like, wow, the whole time, like he was on it for an hour. I was like, he's gonna fucking die. Like,
somebody that I saw that I actually like went to go see because I enjoyed their music, but then their performance was like I don't know. After this was Dave East. I don't know if y'all are familiar with Dave East. He's Nas's artist, but he's a dope. He could rap. He has like the bars too and everything. But then when I saw him one year,
his performance.
It was boring. It was bland, bro. Like he was just walking around, just rapping. He had no energy. He was just that typical, like just gangster, just walking around. Like like you could rap to it, but it's like damn, bro. Like come on, like do a flip or something. Come on, like act up.
Like if you're gonna do that, get some dancers behind you, or something, or put a stage like we did some shows with Nipsey Hussle before he passed away. Rest in peace, Nip. But he's actually the one that gave me the idea. We were in San Antonio with him. And he set up a whole backdrop of his street corner. He had took pictures of his street corner, and he had set up all these 6x10 what do they call?
Backdrops.
Backdrop type. Like a collage or something?
Yeah, like it was different strip. The things they have hanging at the fucking
banner?
Yeah, banners. There you go. He had set like 4 or 5 of them. So he was rapping like if he was on his corner.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's fucking cool. Yeah. And that's what got us to like, we need to do banners. We need when we started doing shows, we bought our own lights, we bought our own microphones, we bought our own sound systems. Like we were like, we're not gonna go in there and give you a show that's gonna suck. If it's gonna suck, it's because we suck. Because everything we're bringing is gonna make the show go
all out.
We were the only ones that had lights, fog machines, backdrops. We used to make sure we were in the same clothes and shit. We practiced like we were trying. Because if like I said, if you're not a fan of my music, and I'm doing a boring show, you're probably not gonna go see. You know what I mean? Like, so that was something we tried to do live. But then again, I had a lot of energy back then. I can't do that shit now.
I get that. And that's like a fun fact was that like I've told people countless times that I used to the reason I got into the music scene in Austin was because I used to try to rap back then when I was in middle school. Like I was like so I would take like little flip raps, rewrite them, and spit my own songs. And I think the first show I ever did was through one of your old artists, Solo. I don't know if you still your artist or know what it's like now, but he had hit me up and put me on his show. It was like somewhere in this. I want to say this was 2009 or 2009 2008 at that time, but it was like somewhere an hour away from here or whatever, and it was dope because it was like, okay, I'm doing a show with a Poverty Island artist, and it was cool. So it was one of those like things that was like, hey, I did that and I'm good, you know.
Was it the one on San Marcos?
Or Seguin, I think.
I think it was Seguin. Yeah, like it's some little
It
like
ended in a big ass fight.
I think so, yeah, because we had to dip after that. Like I was
we
a
don't
little kid.
remember what happened that night.
That's what I was
No
asking.
comments.
Yeah, so it was dope, and it's some little back history for.
But shouts out to Solo.
See, that was one thing we always told everybody. Like,
And he put me in some of his music videos too. He has a song with Anonymous that they recorded throughout Dove and Riverside, and like
with
I was
X singing the hook, with X singing the hook, right?
Yeah. And but we're like I always go back and look at the videos like way back when I was a little gangbanger or whatever, just posted up back there throwing a Dove and shit.
Yeah. See, so the thing, Dove Springs, y'all are a huge community, big. Like every artist that I've ever worked with out of Dove Springs instantly gets a big following. Like Eli, you know what I'm saying? For Eli. The same thing with Solo. You know, Solo came out and he had 200 people at the show. Never dropped the damn song. Like, okay, Dove Springs, something serious. Y'all a big community. And now it's like, what, 30 years old now. Y'all got 3-4 generations of people that, you know what I mean, that are hip-hop. They love that shit. They support that shit. That's why I try to tell Dove Don, like, you know what I'm saying, like, he's not on nothing yet, but as soon as he drop, he from Dove Springs. Your neighborhood finna.
As soon as you drop, bro, you can come on the pod and we'll be just throwing up for the whole time of the episode, bro. We'll be straight, bro. Don't worry. Yeah. That's live.
So shout out to Solo. He ain't done nothing long time.
Yeah.
But I mean, it is what it is. Like I told him, you know what I'm saying? Like I told everybody, I was like, man, watch what I do and do it. That's the only way we're gonna get bigger is if because I can't be everywhere at once. If you run into somebody who has a venue, book a show, bro. Let's go do it. You know what I mean? And that's what started. Solo was one of the dudes that picked it up and was like, yeah, let's do it. Because he'd be out there with us. You know, back then we started to do flyers and posters and shit. And he'd be out there putting posters up with us. And Putting in the footwork. Like, a lot of people didn't see all that shit. You know what I'm saying? I think they saw the bigger shit and we were already, going into fucking venues with Kevin Gates and shit. They didn't see all the fucking years of footwork before.
Cause y'all did have a good run where y'all were like doing a bunch of shows, especially y'all were doing a lot of like the Latin hip hop. Cause I know it's like a party all crowd and whatnot, but y'all were always throwing big shows and big ticket artists. So that was pretty dope to go from that. Cause it wasn't even necessarily that y'all were performing or anything. It was just y'all party out and starting the show. Yeah. So that's live.
And that you see, like we really just fucking were like, I want to party, bro. You know what I mean? Like, who do I want to see? I want to see Little Susie. I know Little Susie gonna fucking bring a crowd. At the time it's like, Little Susie got all the girls, bro. And we were all single, we're like, let's bring Little Susie. You know what I mean? Like,
shouts out Little Susie.
Yeah, shout out Susie. But yeah, like shit like that. And then really, I mean, at the end of the day, it's about money. You trying to make money. So we knew we had a big following. We're Hispanic, so we know what our following listened to. So we're like, they're supporting us on this rap shit.
Y'all have a very loyal fan base, which I always notice.
That we do. Like, you know what I'm saying? People support. And shout out to everybody who supports us, you know what I'm saying? All through Texas, even out of Texas, you know what I mean? Like, I got some people out in fucking Ohio that are like, hey, bro, send me these albums, man. You know what I mean? Like, people from us being on the roads and selling. My Money Topless album, bro, when we could actually still sell CDs, I think I went through like 50,000 or 60,000 units hand to hand. Like, I could have got a plaque for it, but I didn't know back then. Because I was like, I didn't care about that. We were selling money. Yeah, we were making money, you know? That's when we brought the bus out and Candy painted the bus and started doing all the shows and shit. But for us, it was like, we got to make some money out. If we're going to be doing this shit and we're going to stay off the streets, we got to make some money with it. So that's what we started doing. And when I went and I mixed the Dirty Brigante, when I changed my name, I mixed the Dirty Brigante album. And I told the guy at the mastering house, I was like, yeah, man, I just sold like fucking 60,000 of the last one. I'm hoping to do it with this one. He's like, what? you sold 60,000 records, like CDs? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, you got the receipts? I was like, yeah, probably somewhere. He's like, you can get a gold plaque for that. You know, I was like, no shit. And he's the one told me. Yeah, I was like, yeah, fuck it. You know, I didn't know that shit. You know, but
That's crazy. That's insane. I mean, I believe it too. Yeah, so that is cool. I do want to ask, what did influence the I guess the rebrand, the name change?
Facebook.
Nah,
well, Big Dirty was just kind of like, you know. Everybody call me Dirty anyways. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, they've been calling me Dirt forever. And then we had to change. Facebook made us put our real names on Facebook. So we were like, all right, I guess I got to put my last name. And then put Brigante. So I think it was Big Dirty Brigante. And then somebody tried to fucking report me or something. So Facebook took the big off and just left it as Dirty Brigante. So I was like, all right, I'm going to change it. Fuck it. You know what I mean? I like Dirty Brigante better than Big Dirty anyways. Like, I think I just outgrew the name. You know what I mean?
And it just seemed like when you do listen to your albums and your music in that chronological order, seems where you reach the point where it's like a different part of your life already. You already established yourself, and this is all what you do for a living. And now it's like a new age, a new wave.
Yeah, like so if people go and they look up Big Dirty, my new albums won't come up. But because I have it separated like that, like you go to Apple and all that shit, and so but when they listen to Dirt Brigante, the old ones won't come up.
Yeah, so you have Prayer Town on Big Dirty, and then you have the newer stuff.
Yeah, so like if you're a fan back then, and that's what you want to hear, you go look up Big Dirty. You're never gonna find Dirty Brigante. You're looking up Big Dirty. But this is what we promote now is Dirty Brigante, but it's a whole different style of rapping. You know what I mean? Like if you play, what's that song, Superhero? Like if you play Superhero here in a minute, you'll hear that it's just like a whole different. It's still me, but it's different. Like I'm not doing you know what I'm saying, no more. Every once in a while, like if I do a feature for somebody and they're like, man, kill that shit, I'll do it. You know what I mean? Yeah. But like for the most, like really I had to do.
Take your time now.
Yeah, well, not even that. My boy Cool J, man, he told me one day, he's like, bro, you be killing that shit, but they don't understand what the fuck you're saying. And I was like, all right, I'll slow it down for you. And then I slowed it down. I remember, I think I did that Fortnite track. And he was like, what the fuck? And I was like, yeah, that shit's easy to me. You know what I mean? Like writing 16 bars and then writing it fast. Like when I used to write that shit in a notebook, I'd be like a whole page and have to flip the page, whole nother page. See, you know what I mean? And then right here, it's like 8 lines.
Yeah, because like the way I would see it too, like whenever I would try to write fast when I was younger or whatever, it'd be like just how many words can you fit in one bar, you know, and then just jump to the next one, but make it rhyme. Like however, as long as you make it rhyme in every half bar or whatever. But I do want to play Superhero now that you say that, so I want to take a quick shot and
that's shot the song right there.
That's the new wave right there.
Cheers.
Cheers.
I want the truth to come out. You know what I'm saying? Every time I speak, I want to shiver.
Shout out to Ty. He made this beat, Town the Track.
They know what I'm saying. And even if I get in trouble,
KMOG,
you know
kill it.
Ain't that what we're supposed to do? I'm not saying I'm going to rule the world or I'm going to change the world, but I guarantee that I will spark the brain that will change the world. And that's our job, is to spark somebody else.
I keep a smile on my face, although we going through hell. That's why my brother keep that chopper with more magazines than double XL. Slow digital sales back to digital scales. I push the tab.
Quick insight on this video though. We flew out to Vegas and we redid the whole Tupac death scene. We shot like a whole walking through the fucking casino, him getting shot on the corner, and like the whole, we reenacted everything, and we lost the fucking footage.
Oh, that sucks.
So we were like, fuck this shit. I'm going to the bridge. I'm gonna rap, and I'm just gonna fucking throw some Tupac shit in there. That's why Tupac's in it, because the whole thing was like. I'll let the song play, and I'll explain the song after. But yeah.
So you can say I keep it real, but you're superhero. I'm not your superhero. I show you how the game became kryptonite for real though. My superhero, my ghetto superhero. He showed me how the game became kryptonite for real though. You're superhero. I'm not your superhero. I show you how the game became kryptonite for real though. My superhero, my ghetto superhero. He showed me how that game became kryptonite for real though. Starving of all back to ballin', hoping that the Lord would hear me calling. I was tired of mobbing, dodging cops and throwing my life away. I'll never go back to them days. Sitting on a park bench, broke, stressed. So I started pushing pounds like a bench press. No time to rest, invest in myself, fuck chasing my dreams. I'm chasing that cream. See all my homies turning to fiends. Fiends for that money and fiends for that dope. I had my back against the rope, felt like this my only hope. Now we roll around in drop top Cadillacs, off something for your cataracts. A bitch so bad, even your mama ain't believing it. Like, boy, I ain't know you had it in you with your ugly ass. You probably only wanna spend your money, better watch your cash. I come from poverty, know what it's like to be broke. Fuck Batman, Tupac was my superhero. My superhero, Tupac was my superhero. He showed me how to paint, became kryptonite, for real though. Your superhero, I'm not your superhero, but I show you how to paint, became kryptonite, for real though.
Yeah, okay. They're moving some suspects. We don't know.
Shout out Kano.
Superhero by Big Dirty Brigante.
Yeah, see, so like that whole song was about getting famous. You know, I got to the point where I like couldn't even go like to clubs no more. I couldn't go where people were like, they always wanted to fucking freestyle and they always wanted to fucking hang out and take pictures. And it was like, man, like I was always running into people everywhere. And then it got to the point where I started to feel like I was getting a little famous, you know what I'm saying? Not to say I'm famous, but like at that time, you know, we were doing the run. People started thinking that my money was bigger than it was. And that whole song was like, you know, don't let that shit swallow you up. You know what? Do you see what it did to Tupac?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He let that shit swallow him up and died for it. You know what I mean? And us being in the streets, like we were like, yeah, you know, I know better. So that whole song was kind of about that. Yeah, like man, you better listen to. Don't let this shit swallow you up. It'll be your kryptonite basically. The same, you know, the same thing that's bringing you up gonna bring you down. So
Yeah.
that was what the whole song was kind of about. You know what I mean? And
You gotta humble yourself sometimes.
yeah, like just basically telling myself like, hey, chill the fuck out. You know what I mean? You better not. Yeah.
But the story about the Tupac videos, who's responsible for that? Because if
Don't put him on blast. You gonna put somebody on blast?
Nah, look, I don't know what I really don't know what happened, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, so we shot Take Flights, Lil Tones, Take Flights.
Yeah.
The day before in LA. They all went because we have a shoe store, Texas Shoe Exchange. So they all went to a shoe convention or something out there in LA. They drove the bus out there, and while they were out there, they shot that video. I flew in the next day to Vegas. I was like, man, Mac, we're going to shoot this video out here in Vegas. He was out there shooting Tone's video. I said, fuck it, I'm flying. So I flew out to Vegas, and we had shot the other video the next day, but I guess he'd put it all on the same file or card or something. So after he edited, like I said, I'm a procrastinator, so this is my fault. After he edited the Take Flights video, I guess they deleted the file or something, and my shit was in it. You know what I'm saying? So
I've done the same shit. I know it's not as big as, but like I've done that with the episodes. That I was like, it was a big episode I was writing, and I fucked up and I deleted this shit. And I was like, damn.
Yeah, that's why I was gonna bring it up. I was just like, it's like this is honestly probably one of the only podcasts that we haven't fucked up in a while. But yeah, we've had some fuck up. That's why we're the most unprofessional podcast.
That's why I take pride in that. Because like when you fuck up, I was like, I mean, yeah. So.
Hey, fuck it. That's how you learn, bro. Like,
yeah.
That's what you do. I like doing this shit. Like, I've been telling Jumbo forever, like, I want to do a podcast. Like, what for? Like, because I'm fucking want to talk to people. You know what I mean? Like, because you never know what you can get from somebody.
Yeah.
Just you know what I mean? Like, a random person could tell you fucking just some crazy shit that you wouldn't know. And, like, it could level up your game just from, I don't know. It's just like, I watch podcasts. I'm like, this shit's cool. Like,
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Do you have any favorite podcasts?
Man, not Joe Rogan. I love watching Joe Rogan. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, other than that, I watch my boy John's. I actually like John because you know what I'm saying. He's local. He's a funny guy. You know what I mean? And he's my boy, so I'm watching him progress. Right now, he's doing fucking.
What is that one called?
It's called Polar Bear, the Polar Bear podcast.
Okay.
But he's a comedian, so he's not in the rap thing. But right now, I think it was Utah yesterday.
Yeah, he was on tour, the Southwest tour.
Yeah, so you know what I'm saying, like. He's gonna blow, bro. Like I'm telling y'all now, like. But I seen that shit last year before last, and I was telling him, I was like, dude, you're gonna fucking pop, bro. I said, I want to be in your. I want to be in your podcast because I know you're gonna pop. Like the week after, he had Rude Jude on his podcast, bro. Oh shit. Like that's fucking. Who the fuck does that out of Austin? You know what I mean? Like he probably didn't promote it yet. Look, y'all go check him out. You know what I mean? But like, he's gonna pop. So I was like, man, after I seen his shit, and I was like, man, I want to do that shit too. It's cool.
And it's real easy too, like especially like I know it's the same for y'all, but us we came from like having a studio at the apartment, all the equipment, and easy. We know how to record. So once, like, I finally convinced Troy to do the podcast, it was easy. You know, we already had that shit there.
Yeah.
Once we recorded it, people were like, "What all do you have? Like, how much did you spend? Like, how did you mix it right?" And we're like, "It's pretty simple. We're just to get a mixer, mics, and a phone mixer, and that's it." You know, like, most of the time you don't have to mix it if you have a good mic. You know, and that's all it takes. So.
No, I got a home. Man, I probably got like a $50,000 home studio in my house. We wouldn't even use it. Don called me every day. We gonna get in the studio? Like, I'm busy, bro. I'm busy. You know what I mean? Like, cause I'm like right now, we got the store in Austin. We opened up another store in Houston called The Closet on top of Johnny Dang's, and now we're opening a third one called the Stock Room at the River Center.
Yeah, I seen that. Yeah.
So we're busy as hell, and then we run landscaping crews and we run carpenters. So we are fucking doing everything. Right now we got to go build out in San Antonio. So we're starting that next week. We're just on the go. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, don't worry. We have a IDK podcast and Dove coming soon for you, bro. Whenever you want to pull up and Dove and record and whatever, so we got you.
See, y'all get to meet him now, because I promise you, after I start pushing him, it's over.
No access to this man. But I wanted, before we end up closing out at the end, but I did want to go into y'all's entrepreneurship, because it expanded beyond rap. Y'all, like you said, y'all have the shoe stores. Y'all are opening up one in San Antonio. Like, what all do you have going on to promote and brag about and let everybody know what's up?
Everything. We do everything.
If you need it, we could get it.
Let's get some dispensaries started, bro.
We got you.
You want your floors done. You want your house built. You want your landscaping done. You want T-shirts made. You want to record. You want beats. You want shoes. I mean, we do everything. And it really comes from us being poor kids. We learned how to do everything as a kid to save money. When we started doing this rap shit, we started learning how to do everything in this rap shit to save money. Because I didn't know. Me going and paying somebody $50 an hour to rap was just like retarded to me when I could buy a microphone for $100.
Yeah.
So I was like, nah, we're going to learn it. You know what I mean?
That's actually how I started buying all my equipment.
Yeah, because it's like, all right. But like now that I'm older, I understand that it took me 10 years to figure it out. But like, I see why you pay people. But, you know, it took me 10 years to figure it out. But that was us. We were like, you know, we used to record with Trampia. He used to live on Battle Band. He used to have a little home studio, and we recorded with him. And then he really put me on game. He was like, look, man, you can get this program on a computer. I didn't even own a fucking computer, bro. Like, we were fucking poor. I was like, all right, I'm going to get a computer. My homeboy Pep gave me a computer, you know what I'm saying? Free Pep. He gave me a computer, and he was like, man, fuck it, go get it. Matter of fact, shout out to my boy Pepe, you know what I'm saying? He ain't coming home. But he gave me Yamaha Motif 10 keyboard, and he gave me a computer, and he was like, go get his rich. You know what I'm saying? You know, I tried. You know what I mean? We had a good run. I won't say we didn't have a good run, but like as I get older, it's just like, you know what I mean? I don't want to be 50 years old up there dancing, rapping. Fuck that shit. You know what I mean?
You want to plan to be retired by then.
Yeah. So we started doing other things. Like I said, we got, you know, we really do everything. You know what I mean? Like we do it all.
We behind the scenes, basically.
Yeah, basically. You know what I mean? Like we got our hands in everything. So, you know, we got homeboys that have a company run over here. We kind of put money behind that, let it come back, and over here, let it come back. And we just kind of invested everywhere so that just, you know, by the time I'm 40, 45, I can just fucking retire. Like, fuck that shit. You know what I mean? Like, nobody wants to be 80 years old still fucking
working hard as fuck.
Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's what I try to tell my baby mama. I'm like, dude, you know, it's cool to work. It's great to work, but you can't do that forever.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I've seen so many people that just, they don't plan for the future. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, bro, something could happen to you. What if your kids are fuck ups and they can't take care of you? You know what I mean? You don't think like that because you're still in your 20s and you're like, nah, man, I don't fucking. But, you know, you start seeing people who are 50, 60 years old, and they're out here still shoveling rocks in construction, getting paid $10 an hour, and you're like,
or even worst case scenario, like it always sucks seeing like when somebody that like is from our own neighborhood or city have passed away, and like we have to have like some sort of event to raise money. Like it's shit like that like people really don't take the time to actually like plan and think about. You know, like for me, like I completely understand because luckily I have a job that's able to help me with that, but I started thinking about like my daughter, my family, or like people
just
that I
growing
like,
up.
you know,
grown man shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Am I gonna leave my kid with something? Like, I got 5 kids, bro. if I die today, what are my kids gonna get? Some records that are in the fucking closet, or are they gonna get my stocks? Are they gonna get my companies? You know what I'm saying? And that's what got me thinking. And I was like, you know what? I had to start planning for the future, because I started doing this 10 years ago when I started thinking. I was like, you know what? Let's start doing other things. The music was working, but it was like, I'm the type of person, I already know, even the most famous person only has so much of a run. You know, I mean, I could name them for you. I could start off, like Yella Beezy, or, we could name motherfuckers like Waka Flocka, like, what's that dude when
Fetty Wap.
Fetty Wap. I mean, I could name you a million people that were hot for 2
wonders.
weeks. Yeah. And then they're gone. Like, you know what I'm saying? And so I know that in this music industry, but we love doing the music. So we'll never stop doing the music, because, like, when we're by ourselves, we're having fun. That's our way to have fun.
Yeah.
But it's like that, even our whole goal starting the music shit was to make enough money to do something else that would get us more money, because we understood that shit coming in. Even if we pop and we fucking get a hit single, right? We make $1 million. What are we gonna do with $1 million? We're gonna drink it off, fuck it off. Yeah. That money don't last if you don't invest it. And so that's what we started, like, you know what? Every little bit of money, we started investing in other things. You know what I mean? Whether it was tools that my friend needed to put tile down, or it was, you know what I'm saying, compressors to build a house. We just started taking our money and putting it in other places, hoping that it would come back. And, it's come back for the most part. You know what I mean? Like, just, I'm grown man thinking, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I try to tell everybody that, like, when people say, I want to be a rapper, that's cool, bro, but what if it don't work?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's a 1 in a million shot. And a lot of people don't think ahead. They're just like, I'm cold on that microphone, I'm going to be the best. And then 10 years go by.
It takes a lot more than a cold rapper.
It's all hustle. It's not even your skills, bro. Like, your skills are like 10%. Look at Mike Jones. You know what I mean? Like that dude's not a good rapper. But he was out there and
you know how to work the strip clubs.
He knew how to work the records. But even then, where's he at now? You know what I mean? He's doing insurance commercials and shit. Exactly. But
that's why we praise Chamillionaire.
Yeah.
Didn't
Chamillionaire, like, he took his money and just invested it into...
Yeah, he's been investing in all that.
And he was one of the people we would follow. Like, that's why I got into stocks and shit. I was like, that dude got rich. He did what he was supposed to do. He because we didn't have no... When I started shit, I didn't have no education, bro. I was
nobody told us
dumb.
about this shit.
You know what I mean?
Like, with our money.
Yeah. Even then, like I said, I was a high school dropout. I was working construction. I was selling dope, as a minor. And like it like at the time that was it. I was like, we rap, we gonna make $1 million. And then the older you get, you start to realize, like, nah, this shit's not gonna. Even if you do pop, it's not gonna work. Yeah. And you know what really, really got me? We started doing these concerts, and we started bringing these artists, and we had more money than the artists that were showing up. And we were like, what the fuck? Like, y'all can't even buy your own meal? Like, y'all doing bad out here. Like, I don't want to be a fucking rapper no more.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what pulled me back. And I started doing more of the concerts than anything. And then we were sitting there one day, and all of our greatest ideas come from PlayStation Network. We were playing we were playing Call of Duty. We're sitting there playing Call of Duty, and we're like, we're going to open a store tomorrow. I'm like, fucking open a store. We're going to open up a shoe store, bro. And Peanut was like, we're going to open up a shoe store. And I was like, that's the dumbest shit I ever heard in my life, bro. He's like, we could sell used shoes. I'm like, that's the dumbest shit I ever heard in my life, bro. Like, who the fuck buys these shoes? And, and the next day he went and he fucking picked up the LLC, and he's like, we're going to find a building. And then he's like, we need to do something else until the shoes pick up. So we're like, fuck it, we could sell T-shirts. So we bought a screen printing machine, and we started making T-shirts. And that was paying for the rent for the shoe store at the beginning while he built up the inventory. And then that shit took off. And now, we're doing great with it.
There's a whole community of shoe
Yeah, like we weren't into that shit. Like, I like the shoes. I used to buy the shoes, but I never went into to see that there's a whole community, like there is a hip hop community.
Hell yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
but it's a tight knit group. They're like, they support each other.
Yeah.
The sneaker community.
That's the sneaker community support each other. They are.
It's like no hate. Yeah, like
if rappers were like the sneaker community, bro,
that's
everybody would be getting money.
Well, it's like the Atlanta rappers.
Yeah,
they support each other. You know what I'm saying?
That
but that's
crazy.
The sneaker community. The whole USA, they're all like that. Like,
yeah.
Oh wow.
Like, you fly to fucking LA and you go into one of there, and they're showing love. You know what I'm saying? Vegas, they're showing love. You know what I mean? New York, Miami. We were in Miami last month. They're showing love. Like, it's fucking awesome. And it's the same people. They're they're taking. It's a tour that they take. It's fucking badass. Like
You could fuck around, get a flat in Vegas, and call somebody, and they're gonna come help you.
yeah, that's
Even though you never met them before, you've only
Yeah.
seen them on Facebook. Oh, that's that dude. Okay,
I got you.
Go help him.
that shit's
That
crazy.
as well.
For shoes. This is the shoe community.
This is
That's
the shoe
the shoe
community, bro.
community,
Like
yeah.
there's something serious. That shit.
I try to get into shoes by whenever you get the shoes that are released and try to resell them. But I mean, those people are dedicated to like get
They
the
buy
Yes.
bots for that
Yeah,
shit.
Yes.
yeah. There's a whole different. That's a whole behind the scenes.
Whole nother
Yeah.
world, bro. Like they'll camp out for days. They'll know somebody.
Did you see how
know
that
somebody.
that lady from
Yeah.
the lady
The
from
Nike.
Nike? Yeah. Her
Yeah.
kid got caught. Like I guess he was using her card and had access
And the
to
He was
it.
using
discount and
the
shit.
card, her
Posting everything and
discount,
shit.
everything.
Yeah.
He tripped up on an interview.
Oh yeah.
He did the interview and
he
slipped
said
up.
He said her name or his real name or something. But he was like a real big cat in the sneaker community too.
Yeah.
Like that shit's crazy. Like I said, if rappers stuck together like that locally, like they do, shit, everybody'd have money.
And saying that, I'm sorry, I want to have so much that I want to expand on, but like before I go into that, Jumbo, I have a quick question for you. You say you're a big Chameleon fan. I want to know what's your favorite project by Chameleon.
Shit, really, the Swish House mixtapes.
Yeah.
Back when he was just getting started. Like I was just listening to, what was it, before the Kappa 2001 or something. I was listening to that last night, just jamming them. Like Paul Wall and Kamir and they're both.
So you
had
fuck with the DSR too then?
A little bit. I was
just
on
like
it, but I was more me personally. I was more of a Swish House head than a
Yeah.
Screw head. The Screw head was a little bit more, I guess, a little bit
Before.
older. Yeah.
Yeah,
I came
before.
like a year or two before that, so I was more on the Swish House music.
Yeah. The one I've been stuck on for I was stuck on for like a few weeks back. The Truth, like it was like the album before Sound of Revenge.
Sound of Revenge.
Yeah. And that is probably my favorite Chameleon project, like out of everything. You know, he was my favorite artist for a long
Yeah.
time too. Like this man's cold.
And
He
you can
can
tell
rap.
how smart he is just by his rap.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, the
Like-
way he
like,
writes and
he
raps and
doesn't
freestyles.
sound like everyone else neither.
he
He
wasn't an
sets
educated.
himself.
You remember
apart.
too, even when he had that time where he was like, "I'm gonna drop my first full album that I'm not gonna say the N word at all."
Yeah.
I don't even remember what mixtape that was, but like I listened to it like thinking that he was gonna actually say it, but no, he went the whole album and this man's been ahead of his time for a long
Yeah.
time. You
Yeah.
know, every single time he's always been.
I remember we used to get them AOL CDs, the free internet.
Oh yeah.
He was like one of the only people that had a website up. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like
ComeHereNerd.com back then.
Hey,
man
Jumbo would
does
always put me on
research.
that
Yeah,
shit.
I was into it tough.
You gotta go check out Chameleon there. You know, shit loading up for 30 minutes. Fuck this
That's
dude,
back
man.
when you had to have dial up.
Yeah.
internet
That's
back
not
in
just
the day.
not just right.
Nostalgia.
Yeah, nostalgia.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Go
I remember
back.
I don't like it. Makes us sound real old when we
Yeah.
talking about it.
Well, that was the end. That was, we're at the end. But I think that, like, me and Jumbo talk about that all the time. I think that's what helped us get so far is because we came up in a time before the internet, so we knew the streets. And then we learned the internet as it came on. So we knew this as well, but we also knew how to go hit motherfuckers up in the parking lot.
We got
Yeah.
the best.
So
of
we
both
got the
worlds.
best of
Yeah, I
both
went from
worlds.
Pop Trunk to the streaming
Yeah.
world and shit.
Yeah.
Trying to mix them together and do
That's
that.
smart. How do y'all feel about the whole everybody that's moving into the East Side complaining about Chicano Park?
Oh, I'm taking my drop out there tomorrow.
That's
Tomorrow?
Them white folks tripping. They trying to get rid of
Yeah.
we've been there for
I think
50,
we're-
60 years.
It's
going
gonna
to the
be-
park every Sunday.
Yeah, it's gonna be a full house tomorrow, bro.
Yeah, tomorrow's gonna be crazy over there.
Crazy.
So today is what is today's date? I don't even know today's date. What, the 27th of March.
I just hope they don't act up. 'cause-
Tomorrow's the 28th. You not only do you have that, but you also have the opening, like the big party opening for Gabriella's over at South Park Meadows. I don't know y'all how familiar you are with Gabriela. She's a Latin
Downtown
female that's
for-
been opening a bunch of places
Yeah,
in
yeah,
the city, clubs,
She got
parties,
a
and
little,
everything.
little team behind her.
Yeah, she's been putting in work. So I like to like. It's along the lines of what y'all been doing because it's like doing independently and open up your own business and stuff like that. So it's dope.
I mean, it's
Y'all support y'all people, man.
Yeah.
That's the only way we could do things. Y'all
Yep.
support.
if you
support.
want, because it's hard. If you want something, you've got to get money to come to your environment. You know what I mean? Like you got to have people who who have money who can back you up. Like if you want your podcast bigger or whatever. You know what I'm saying? You can't get it bigger yourself, but stuff like that, it's hard. Like let's say you asked me, but I only had $1,000 in my bank account. But if you ask somebody like her who might have $1 million in their bank account, it's easier to fund things locally around, like when people were trying to do shit. Like you got to bring it back to your community, and that's something we learned. So we try to do all like what's next? Easter's next week, right?
Yeah.
So my homegirl Jen, she's doing a little thing right there. I think it's in Saragossa again. It was in Saragossa last year, and every year we have this big old festival for free for the community. You know what I mean? So if y'all want to come out there on the east side, right there off 7th Street. 7th and Pleasant Valley. But like we try to do stuff like that to where, we try to bring, and even then all the vendors are local, you know what I mean? Like the DJ's local from the east side, and the people who are selling the cotton candy, they're from the east. So we try to bring money back into the community, even though everything's free, you know what I mean?
That's awesome. Shit, y'all ever need volunteers, anybody to help and promote it, hit us up. I don't know how familiar y'all are with Do Good as well.
Shouts out to Do Good. We was out there
y'all were actually at Jumbo. You specifically, y'all were doing a lot for everybody in the city. Me and Troy were talking about like just consistently being available to everybody who was in need.
Shout out to my
diapers
boy,
to food
Edward,
and everything. Edward Castillo, Dez, all of y'all. That's one of those things that's like, it's cool and legendary too to be able to come from y'all's background, Montopolis, whatever, but also turn around and be like. I'm not just gonna leave and then just bounce and I'm out of here.
That's another thing we've been throwing out the idea. We're probably gonna do our own nonprofit because I feel we give back to the city more than most
the city
of
itself.
You know, and we've been doing that. Like we don't like Texas Shoe Exchange been around 5-6 years. Every year we've gotten.
We do Christmas, Thanksgiving,
sponsor
Easter.
Families, and you give them a total amount $200 per kid to find people to sponsor specific kids.
And see, that's another thing with the sneaker community. The sneaker community, they'll sponsor a family each. Like say a lot of our friends that have other sneaker shops here in town, they'll sponsor a family. Be like, all right, you give me this family, and then another, I'll give you this family, and we'll do that. We don't like to put a lot of that on Facebook. Like we'll do just enough so people know, like if they know somebody who's in need to hit us up. But we're not the type of people to go take them pictures and I just gave this guy pizza and shit. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've been down on my luck. Trust me, I came from nothing. That shit would be embarrassing as fuck to me.
Like who would want to be like, broadcasting like that? Like,
my pride wouldn't even let me take it. I'd be like, nah.
That's why whenever we were doing it, I just put a little bit. I did a little recap video. I don't like doing it, but sometimes you got to do stuff like that. Shouts out to Deep Eddie Vodka.
Yeah.
I did the video. And Deep Eddie hooked us up with a little sponsorship for everything that was going on during this little power outage and the freeze.
Oh, yeah, the ice storm.
Yeah, so they helped out. Shouts out to Domino's Pizza. They were giving us good prices on the pizza, so
that's awesome.
Feed everybody.
Domino's hooked us up.
Texas Shoe Exchange, basically, they sponsored. Then with the Do Good ATX, and everyone just got out, if they had a 4x4 truck and they could get out.
Yeah.
I live in Buda, so I came from Buda. I was tired of being at home, so I was like, let's go.
Yeah. So this is what I bought my 4x4 for.
Right.
Mine was in the shop. My truck was in the shop, and I had somebody drive me to 812 to pick my shit up because I was like, I'm going 4x4. This is what I bought my truck for.
Yeah.
And he even had to go way up there on 183 and something to pick up some
I
water,
wouldn't
like
picked
a
up,
pallet.
Man, who was DJ?
Abe the Assassin.
Okay.
Shouts out to Abe.
Abe from Dove.
Yeah. He had somebody hook up water. We drove out there and picked all the water up, and we were neighborhoods on the south side just handing out water, and you know what I mean, in Del Valley handing out water and shit. But like I said, for me, I don't post a lot. My Facebook is more funny shit than anything. I don't like to post a lot of stuff on there like that.
I get that. Yeah, all I see is memes on your page.
Yeah, like I try to keep people entertained as much as possible because that's how you keep people watching you. You know what I mean? Like if they're entertained, then they're gonna when it's time to do something and I need support, they're gonna come. Yeah, because they're gonna be looking at my shit. Because what do we used to do? You been on there? We used to do the Wacko Wednesdays and the shit like that, the Chuck Norris and all that shit.
We used to get it popping for no reason.
We purposely was doing that shit because we knew we were gonna start doing concerts. So everybody was looking at our shit to see the funny shit we were posting. And then, bam, there goes.
That's smart.
Lil Susie's coming.
I didn't think about that.
Lil Susie coming. Because why not?
Yeah.
Them two fools are funny as shit. And then they go tell their friends, oh, you got to go follow these guys. They're funny as fuck.
And then,
and then
boy Rendon would get on it, start killing it, with the Whack Ho Wednesdays. And
so
everyone knows we're all linked up together. You get people, you got the eyes on you. Then time to promote, time to do something.
And then with the Brigante name, that's why so many of us, some of them ain't really Brigantes, you know what I'm saying? But you see it everywhere, and like, why is I keep seeing this name pop up everywhere? Who the fuck is a Brigante? It shouldn't even sound like a real name. And then they go, it's curiosity killed the cat, man. But it's all marketing. You got to think, like,
Yeah,
it works.
We just looked at it from the standpoint of like, okay, Brigante, that's not a name down south. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So we could name everything Brigante or whatnot. Now that's across all the social medias, so it's easy to find a Dirt Brigante, Jumbo Brigante, Tone Brigante. You know, it's easy. You can type in Brigante and all of our names will pop up.
You don't have to copyright
You can
that.
add everyone, you know.
That's probably covering.
Okay, you know, Twitter, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Instagram, Facebook, whatever. You can just type it up and it's there.
See, this man right here, he don't get enough credit. But this is the man behind Poverty Island right here. Like, he is the fucking marketing genius behind
Yeah,
this
that's
shit.
why I have this man as a friend on Facebook, because I know that he's like a big part of it. So it's
Like, he
I'm
don't
happy
rap,
you're here, too.
but anything that Poverty Island does, it goes through him first. You know, it's like, he's the man. You know, he's the man behind this. Like, I'm the face of the shit, and I do a lot of the shit, but, like, ultimately, like, right before we do it, I'm
Makes
calling
executive
Jumbo.
decisions
Yeah,
and shit.
like,
We on the phone daily, so.
yeah. Because,
That's
like,
awesome.
back in the day, he was the one who got us. He's like, hey, look, we got to put this big-ass sticker on the back of our cars. Like, why? He's like, because it's marketing. Everybody's going to see pie on the car. They don't know what the fuck it is. They might think it's a car club, whatnot, but we're going to brand that name in there. So we're not going to, because this is what we talk, we're not going to brand your name. We're not going to put dirty on everything. We're going to put pie on everything. That way we can bring artists in, and you're going to know, and that's why everybody says that, pie, pie, pie. Nobody ever says dirt, tone, jumbo. They say
smart.
pie. That's because we marketed, we branded that shit. We put that everywhere before we put our own names in anything. Because I could, we could have built that up for 10 years, and I could have grabbed my son or somebody and put him to rap. You know the pie name, and we took that after
the brand.
Yeah, the brand. We took that shit from No Limit.
It's a standalone name.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And that was another thing. That's why at that time everybody was 512 this, Capital
Yeah.
City this,
Typical
this.
shit.
Yeah, with the fucking Capital on their shit. And everybody's taking a picture in front of Capital.
Who
with a
came up with the
slab.
name?
I did. I got it because, like I said, in the early '60s, '70s, that's what they used to call Metropolis. They used to call it Poverty Island because it was just like,
Oh, shit.
yeah. If you go back, like I said, there's a whole fucking damn story behind that shit. But basically, that's what they called it when we were supposed to be the capital. For some reason, it ended up being on South Congress or whatnot. You know what I mean? And people just, all the fucking farm workers and shit were there, I guess. You know what I mean? And that was the kind of nickname for that shit that then people had in the 70s. And I just happened to run into a article one day that I read up on that shit. And I was like, oh, that's fucking dope. Like, I'm going to use that instead of a fucking Capital City fucking boys from
I give you the
Southside.
backstory on the logo. I was real big into wrestling back in the day. You
Like
know
the
what I'm
dude
saying?
handing like the pie and whatnot, right?
Well, that was our drawn up one, but the one with the PIE and the square.
Yeah.
I took it from the NWO.
Oh,
back in the day.
okay. I see
Shouts
that
out
now.
to my boy Carlos, CH Customs. Back then he was top dollar. I took
Top
it to
dollar
him,
ballin'.
and I was like, "Hey man, I want this logo to look like this. This is the name." He did all the magic, and we just ran with that for forever to this day.
Shit.
Damn, you fucking remember the guy with this guy
Yeah.
right here. That
Yeah,
fucking-
the dude only like
Yeah.
everybody wants a slice of the pie,
Yeah.
bro. Like I'm telling you, like
And that was our phrase.
And that's what's crazy because like it was Poverty Island, just a PI, and then we made it entertainment, and then so it made it pie for the acronym and shit. And then like right after we made that, I went to my homeboy Tati's house. Shout out to Tati. He's the one that actually drew this, but he didn't draw this for us. He was just drawing, and I was
shit.
flipping through, and I was like, "Oh, that's a dude holding a pie.
Yeah.
We just need shit pies. I'll buy that from you." He's like, "Give me $50." So I was like, "Shit!" I gave him $50. Came back and like, "This is our logo, bro. Everybody
That's
wants a
awesome.
piece," and he's holding the fucking pie. Like,
Yeah.
how dope is that? Like, it just fell in place. You know,
because
what
it
I'm
all
saying?
makes sense. Like the whole meaning behind it, the phrase itself, like
And it holds to this day. Everybody wants a piece of the pie. You know what I'm saying? Who doesn't?
Yeah. It all just kind of fell into place. It was like all like within a fucking week, bro. We were just
Yeah.
like storming it up.
Yeah.
But even then, like even after we got all of that shit, we still didn't do no music for another 4 or 5 years.
But that was back in the day when you could only talk after 7 because you had
the free minute.
and
Yeah.
it's cheap motherfucker. It's a cheap motherfucker. He call it, he yell at you, man. Call back at the 7. I told you I'm coming. Go to 7,
Don't be
man.
calling me right now.
Yeah,
Why you
already
text
know.
me?
Yeah, damn. That's old. That makes
Yeah,
me
that
sound
is
old.
old.
Yeah, I remember that's when I first got my first phone. I was like, I can only make calls after 7. I'm like, I'm
No, it's
sorry.
like, no, it's like, hey,
Dirty
can you,
used to have a Nokia.
it's like, hey, can you call me on my house phone?
Yeah.
Straight up, right? Straight
Landlines
up the house
and
phone.
shit.
That's crazy. I don't even think anybody has landlines no more. I want one.
just to have a secure line.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask kids that. I'll be like, did you know that you couldn't call someone until it was like, I think it was 9 for Sprint.
Yeah, it was back then.
Yeah. 9
Yeah,
o'clock. bro.
I got school in the morning. I was like, let's
Who
make
the
it
fuck
quick.
I'm gonna call it? Yeah, who the fuck I'm gonna call it 9 o'clock? I gotta go sleep.
Then it moved to 7, and then everyone just went.
Cricket fucked it
Unlimited.
up. Cricket came in and was like, we're
Cricket,
doing
everybody
$50.
had cricket. Yeah, cricket unlimited everything.
Yeah.
At that time, nobody gave a fuck what phone anybody
Yeah.
had, bro. Like, it don't matter.
Yep.
Nowadays,
Flip
it was
phone.
like,
Nah, the Razor was
The
popping.
Razor. I was about to say the Razor.
Yeah, I had that Razor.
Everyone had that fucking phone.
And then, you remember when the phone started getting littler and littler
Yeah.
instead of bigger, motherfucker?
and now they're getting bigger again.
Yeah.
Like, the iPhones are big as fuck. Shit.
That shit's crazy.
They actually did bring the Razor back.
Did they?
I don't know if you've seen it.
I
but
think it's smaller now, right?
Yeah, it's smaller. It's touchscreen.
Damn, that's dope. I'm gonna buy one. That's just nostalgia. You know what I'm saying? Like, that shit's crazy.
Do you have? I want to ask. I guess it's 2 separate questions and one. It's a loaded question. A favorite artist aside from yourself from the, I guess I want to say old era of Austin versus, I don't know how familiar you are with the scene in Austin you are now. So, and favorite artist back then versus the favorite
Artist now? Yeah, Chino Loc,
Chino Loc,
monster.
old or new era?
He's new era right now.
Yeah.
Chino Loc.
I think he was performing at the Santa Cruz last week. Whenever we
Yeah,
were
he
there,
probably
so.
was. He probably out there. I think if he stay focused, he got it. You know what I'm
Chino
saying?
Loc, we got to hit him up.
Yeah.
What about I think? Because I know whenever y'all were coming up, y'all had obviously the YMR, MacMan, Jay Capone, Gerald G.
Monster.
Gerald G, Gerald G was cold as fuck too and the fast rapping
Gerald
too.
G.
Like, man.
Yeah.
Gerald G. Boy,
Back in the day, you see any stage, you'll just see Gerald G on it for no reason.
Just freestyling and
Yeah,
rapping.
he'll be up there with Jay-Z. Just what the hell, Gerald?
somehow Gerald G get
Gerald
that
G
microphone.
is the king of the finesse. He just
Yeah.
get on stage.
Yeah. Shout
And he'll
out
get the
Gerald G.
mic.
And he'll rap. He'll kill that shit every time. Like,
And he represent the old 2 East Side.
Yeah.
Gerald G, man, my boy.
And also, you also had the League of Extraordinary G's that came on the later half.
Oh,
But
man, those guys.
legendary group. But Jay Capone was my always number one favorite because he's the reason that I found out. I think his first one of his mixtape was like something I found at the flea market, and I was like, I think I saw something I think it saw that like the What It Do and some
the
Austin
Rapper
logo
Rican,
and shit, you know. So that's what really caught my attention, and I bought that whole. And I was like hearing people rapping about Austin, I was like,
Yeah,
as a
shout
kid,
out
you
Jay.
know.
Yeah, like he on the cool, he was probably one of the first ones to
Top
do it
dollar
that
balling,
big. You know what
shot
I mean?
calling.
Like to Jay Capone was there. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? He was there. Like if we were anywhere, it didn't matter where we was
national.
from. We could be in fucking Arkansas. Where y'all from? Austin. Oh, y'all know Jay Capone? Like, nah, I didn't know Jay Capone at the time. You know what I mean? Like, I knew who he was, but like I said, I was just barely coming up, so I didn't know him. You know what I'm saying? I hadn't met him or nothing like that. But like anywhere you went, it's like Jay Capone. You from Austin? Jay Capone. Like, yeah, he had that run, man.
That's dope. That's crazy. Yeah, I'm gonna hope to have him here on soon. We were supposed to, but then COVID hit and everything, all this shit, you know. So, I know we are deep into this episode, but we do have to wrap it up. And like I said, we do like to end the episode on a positive note, something positive, something good that's happened to you, or something I want to put into the world. So that way we end this. Anybody that's listening or watching, there's always good in the world.
Yeah.
I don't know if y'all would like to go first or Troy can go first and I'll go last.
Go ahead.
Yeah, honestly, you did. You said a bunch of wise shit that I'm starting realizing because I like investing and I invested into this podcast. Yeah. And Mario's done so well.
He's my Jumbo.
I'm doing so much of bringing in artists, and even though I work out of town sometimes or whatever, I come back and I'm just like, yo, this shit's fucking blowing up. I didn't think people, wanted to hear this, but yeah, I work my ass off, and I work for FedEx, and it's funny that you said Battle Bin. I actually delivered to the neighborhood today in the 4-5.
4-5.
Yeah, the 4-5. Yeah, and I've been working 6 days a week. To be honest, I'm tired. I usually get drunk before I even get here, but I was so tired. I was just like, let me just set this up. I I'm probably, after I get off of this, I'm not even gonna drink. I'm just gonna go home, and I'm an alcoholic.
Yeah.
I'm
I
a
used to be.
functioning alcoholic though. And yeah, after working 6 days, I got the notification from my boss. She's like, "Hey, you're gonna be working 5 days now. I know it took forever, but yeah, 5 days from now on." I like that you've been putting in work, and I was like, "Fuck, dude, this route, like, I'm exhausted.
Yeah.
It's fucking killing me." It's all of South Congress, and it's all apartments.
yeah.
There's like a furniture on the 3rd floor. It's like, come on, bro, they ain't no elevators.
Yeah.
Why are you ordering a 6-piece sectional that I gotta take 2 at a time with a dollar?
Yeah, shit's hard.
Yeah, but and everything you were saying is like, nobody deserves to work, their whole life. You have to start thinking for the future. Yeah. And I was like, shit, I don't want to be doing this. I mean, I love my job, but I mean, I'm getting old too. I'm about to be 30.
They're not gonna care about you if you get hurt. Tell you that much.
They don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm gonna be working 5 days, and hopefully I can find something, and hopefully this podcast does blow up. We get some money off of it. If not,
Hell yeah.
I'm gonna start, investing into other things too, stocks.
Yeah, man,
businesses.
Stocks, way to go. Yeah. Like, man, I tell you like this, because I'd gotten to it, man. I could sit here for hours. I'd gotten to a bad wreck. Me and this guy got into a bad wreck, and I flipped the car off of the East First and on 35. You know where you come on in front of IHOP?
Yeah.
Well, we were drunk. I wasn't driving, and the car had lost control, and it had flipped and shot us all the way to Holly Street, and I rolled over 7 times, and I tore every ligament in my upper body and broke both of my shoulders out, because my first reaction was to stop myself, and the car came back and popped my shoulders out of place, and then I stayed there rolling, and this fool and the other people that were sitting next to us were just pounding on me as the car was rolling all the way down. And I never went to go get fixed because I was young. I wasn't smart. I didn't know about lawyers. Yeah. Nobody ever put me on game, so I just stayed there.
I tried to tell them.
Yeah, he tried to tell me, but like I said, I was just, lack of education. You're not gonna, you're stupid at the time, So I've been fucked up ever since. I couldn't work hard anymore from that day forward. So it was a curse and a blessing at the same time. It made me think now I have to figure out how to get money without, because all I knew was construction. I was doing AC work at the time. I used to build bridges. I used to build homes. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was like, now I got to do something else. You know what I mean? I don't want to go back to selling dope as a minor. And I was like, this ain't what's up. You know what I mean? You got to figure it out. So it was a curse and a blessing at the same time. But it taught us how to hustle. But yeah, like nobody's gonna give a fuck about you. Your boss, they're good job, good job, good job.
You'd easily be replaced.
Easily replaceable.
Hired,
you know what I mean?
That's what I taken that too as well. Because I work construction. I work as an electrician, and I've been taught. I was lucky enough to meet somebody who was able to put me on game and be like, hey, like, if you need a day and you're working yourself like crazy, fucking take a day, call in. Like, I promise you, like, they could fire you easily if you fall asleep or some bullshit happens at work, like easily just fire you.
You're going to hurt yourself, and then they're going to fire you anyway.
Exactly, because you can't come in, they ain't going to look out for you like that.
Yeah.
So.
That's why you got to save your money and work for yourself, because you're basically just making somebody else rich in anything we're doing. You know what I mean? Like, FedEx, you making FedEx rich. You making whoever the electrician guy is rich. If you learn your business, you can go and get your own jobs. And now you're getting that $150, $200 an hour. They're cutting you out, $40, $50 an hour. And that's good money because we come from nothing. Yeah. And that was my whole thing. It's like I started making money and I was like, shit, I was poor. This is great money. But then you get back and you're like, nah. What that guy got is great money.
At first, we don't know how to manage that money. That's one of my biggest issues. Like, I came from nothing, and when I get some good money, it's like I easily just blow that shit off. I'm starting to realize, like, okay, I need to be able to manage financially because I'm financially stupid, bro. Like, but as you get deeper into it, more money, and you have it's a bigger responsibility once you start making more and have more people under that you have responsible for. So
that's one thing I preach though. Man, you catch me on a regular basis, I preach the fuck out of that shit because I know when I first started getting money, I was in the strip club every night throwing money. You know what I mean? I was out fucking buying stupid shit, buying big old necklaces and shit that I didn't need. I mean, the gold, it ended up being a good investment. Obviously, gold tripled on me.
Yeah.
But at the time, you're not thinking like that. Diamonds is the
You
worst
should
thing in the
blow
world.
money and
Don't
flex on
fucking buy
people.
diamonds. Diamonds are fucking useless. But gold and silver and shit, you know what I mean?
It's priceless.
Yeah.
And copper.
Yeah.
I always take copper from
Copper.
work.
There you go. There you go.
Shit, the price of copper is like fucking $3 and shit.
It always matches gas prices, and gas prices is like
Yeah.
crazy right now.
Back in the day, there was a house being rebuilt, and we stripped all the copper and we resold it. We were like 12. We stripped the whole house of copper and
hell
resold
yeah.
it.
It's money, you know. It's precious metal. It's a good conductor. Like you learn that shit as you get older. You know what I mean? But I always preach that to people because if I had somebody tell me when I first started getting money to fucking do this with it, I'd have owned apartment complexes already. You know what I mean? Like I look back and see the money that I've blown, and it's like, what a fucking idiot.
It's always like, whenever you're down bad, it's like, damn, I wish I would have not spent that
Yeah.
on that and shit.
Yeah.
So
But you know what I'm saying? It's like you
live and you learn.
you know?
Yeah. I guess I'll follow Troy and my positive note, but my positive note is like, I'm happy y'all are here. Like, this is for me, this is a big accomplishment to have Austin legends here sitting down with us.
Appreciate it.
Because one of the points that I was wanting to make for this season, which is our season 4, is to give people history lessons about the history in Austin, what happened before we were here, before this next generation. Because I work a lot with a lot of the next generation artists and newer artists that make music nowadays, but I also want people to be aware of how, like, the way that y'all move, so people could easily get in contact with y'all or see what y'all have done and follow the blueprint. Like you said, like you just tell people to just do what I do. You know, it's not that hard. Like, there's a lot to be done. It's obviously a different world, but
it's the same.
Yep.
Chase the money. I tell everybody, find the money first. Don't try to be a rapper with no money because it takes money. You need flyers, videos, beats, promo. If you're trying to do it, you'll never get nowhere on the bare minimum. You got to chase the money first. You got to figure out how you're going to, I don't care if you go get a grant from the bank. Figure out how to have a budget behind you before you try to do this. And make sure that you're willing to lose that money because we've lost lots of it. You know what I mean? Like, we did this shit for 10 years and never saw $1 come back until we figured it out. We were like, okay, the money's in the shows. You know what I mean? Like, the money's in, because
Even rappers these days will tell you, hey, our money's out there on the stage.
Yeah.
Because the record label takes all their sales. But
it's
they
all
ain't
in concerts.
They ain't taking that
Concerts
50,000.
and merch.
Yeah, merch. Because we can't sell CDs no more. Like, I fucking, you do 1 million streams on YouTube and you get what, $2,000, $4,000, some shit like that? That's a month's worth of work if you're getting paid good here in town. For 1 million streams and for a local artist to get 1 million streams, that's a lot. You know what I mean? So you got to chase the money first. I mean, your dream's always going to be there. If you're as good as you say you are, it's always going to be there. Look at Griselda Records. Them fools are 40-something years old.
They've been putting in work forever, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
since I want to say since the mixtape era.
Yeah.
Yeah, like they've been putting
Early
in work
2000s.
forever, bro. Like, for a long time.
And they're barely popping. But they're popping. You know, now they're popping, but they just stuck with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, they always say this is a young man's game, and I understand it, but it's not a young man's game.
They say
no
Jay-Z
more.
didn't. Jay-Z got turned down at 26 or 27 because they said he was too
old. Yeah.
We're 27 right now, bro. Like I know y'all would be quick to like say like we're not that old just yet. You know, like it's
No,
it's
in the
still
hip hop world, you're
long.
old as hell.
Yeah, the hip hop for sure, but like you never know. That's the crazy part. You never know.
Hell
you know,
yeah.
people could
2
be
Chainz,
digging forever.
30, what,
Yeah, 2
7,
Chainz probably
38?
late.
Yeah,
Yeah.
people don't know. Like it's like you just gotta find the right way to move. Whether it be rebranding or establishing yourself or just doing the same thing over and over. Like
It's just the thing. There's an audience for everything. It's just you're not gonna get the same. You're 35 years old rapping like an 18-year-old kid. Nobody
Yeah,
wants
it
to
ain't
hear
gonna
that
work,
shit.
no.
You know, a grandpa's still in the trap. Hey, you real fucking failure,
Scarface
grandpa.
Scarface ain't gonna be rapping like fucking a Herb G or anybody like that, bro.
Exactly.
Like,
You know what I'm saying? What'd you look like, my grandpa? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
nah,
it ain't
bro.
gonna work.
We ain't trying to hear that.
you
shit.
gotta find your own solution, and that's how I saw it whenever we were doing this podcast. Like, yeah, I understand we're not the first podcast out of Austin or whatever, but it's been a minute since anybody's gone like platform to portray artists and people from the city in this manner for audio and visual. You know,
This is a good thing, bro. This is a good thing. That's why I want to do it, because I still love the music. We still like man. I'm telling you, I get on this dude like every other day.
Man, you're lucky. Shit, he turns down so many people. Like,
I know I was a little
he
bit
just
nervous
called
about it. I
me.
was like,
He was like, "Hey man, we're gonna go do this." I was like, "All right, well, he must see something in y'all."
I appreciate
it's
that.
cool. I don't like him.
Yeah, he don't.
I appreciate that,
I just
man.
because when I see people and I feel like they're bullshitting, I just like I blow them off because I got a lot of shit going on. We were on the cool. We were supposed to be in Houston today for Jay Prince's fucking birthday party.
Pop up. Yeah,
Peanut and them are over there at the closet, fucking Meek Mills and all them. Like you can whatever. What's today's date? Like you can Google this shit. They're over there at our store over there.
I really appreciate that.
Yeah, but we were supposed to do a job this morning that got canceled. But then I was being lazy. I was like, I'm not driving to Houston. Fuck that shit. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't get starstruck no more. I seen everybody. I'm not fucking 20 years old. Like I don't give a fuck. But it's cool to be able to do shit like that. Like if somebody told me they were gonna go hang out with fucking Meek Mills, I'd be like, he's a fucking liar. You know what I mean? Like you're like for real. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's bullshit.
But like, yeah, you can go right now and go to fucking Texas Shoe Exchange on Instagram or the Closet HTX on Instagram, and you see I'm not bullshitting. They're fucking on live probably right now, you know, as we're doing this podcast, and they're just fucking partying out there, you know, like it's cool shit. Like it's fucking cool shit. Last week they were hanging out with the baby. He was in there shopping. You know what I mean? Like it's crazy that this got us to a level we would just fucking hang out with people that you just like I said, I've had so many artists at my house, and I'm in the hood, bro. Like I'm in the same house, nigga. Like to have them type of people there, it's like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Yeah. Like we did that. So when Killer Mike was there and they brought all the fucking equipment out, all my neighbors like,
shouts out to Big Sid.
What the hell are y'all doing out there?
Hey,
I'm
Big
like,
Sid's doing that DJ Screw show now.
Yeah.
That's live.
Well, he's actually, I want to say producing.
He's the director now? Director or producer?
The
executive producer.
Executive producer on, what's his name? He's about to drop the album. I'll look it up and I'll tell you. But Big Sid doing big things in Houston right
from
now.
Angelo, right?
San Angelo. Yeah,
Shout out to Sid.
It's Pokey's album.
Yeah. Shout out Chino. Shout out all of them, too.
Well, I guess a positive note over here, Stockroom, you know, we're officially be opening, I want to say May 1st. Stockroom, so if you're ever in San Antonio, y'all need some kicks.
On the
y'all need some
Riverwalk,
gear.
right?
On the Riverwalk, in the mall, 3rd floor, right above Victoria's Secret. Right,
Stop for the ladies and go for the men. Right above.
But we're gonna have all the other dope gear, you know, Supreme. Y'all like Chrome Hearts. We're gonna have Chrome Hearts, Bape. We're gonna have all the Yeezys, Jordans, everything. So, you know, Stockroom. Look us up, Instagram, Facebook, Stockroom.
Hell yeah.
210, right?
210. Yeah, Stockroom 210 on all the platforms.
Tone.
San Antonio.
And
it's gonna be a long drive every day.
But we still repping Austin.
Yeah.
You know,
Shit,
Central Texas.
if you ever need help starting out the podcast, hit me up. It's easy for us. It's easy to do for us. So
you might be one of the first guests. You never know.
Hey, we'd be more than happy to work with you. It's already a pleasure right now. So
yeah, like really, because I still get people. They hit me up all the time. They're like, "Dirt, when you gonna do something? When you gonna drop something?" You know what I'm saying? And like I got a big fan base, and they're always looking for something. So like I try to get in there and rap and write. Like I said, I got these albums done. I just haven't had the time to sit there and do videos yet, or you know, I don't want to drop the album without having it, you know, ready, like 100% ready. So like being able to do something like this would still, I'd be able to fucking interact with the fans and shit more. And like we want to set one of these up, maybe over there at the store or somewhere, you know what I mean? Just so that I can interact and I can still like put my artists on and do the same thing you're doing, because like you're saying, like I don't see a lot of platforms. Like since we stopped doing local shows, I don't see them so much no more. Every once in a while there'll be one or two that'll pop up, but they're not consistent with
die
it.
out quick.
They see there's no money in it. I think they do it for money more than love. Like we used to do it for the love of the music because we didn't make no fucking money on that shit. But we would go do it because we love doing it. And I think that these people, they think it's money in it because they
like
see
right away.
You know, and they're like, well, there's no money. I'm not gonna do this shit. Yeah, it takes time. Like I said, we did this for 10 years before we started.
5 L's in a row, you ain't gonna be wanting to take no more.
Yeah, like man, when doing concerts, oh Lord.
Yeah, we did. Me and Nick D, we did the ATX concert series, 512 concert series.
Yeah.
I think we got up to like 30 in our 30s, like numbered out 1 through 30 or whatever. We was doing it big over there. That's when we were doing the Ruta Maya deals.
Then we jumped into big concerts and lost.
Yeah, we started bringing big names.
Oh,
we
shit.
took some L's. We weren't always.
It's part of the
on
process.
top.
It's part of the process.
But you had to learn, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's an expensive learning,
That's how we try to take it now, because as we do say, we are the most professional podcast. Every time we record, there's something that goes wrong. One little thing could be, or the biggest thing that could go wrong. And next time we was like, all right, we got to make sure that don't happen again. That other thing from 2 episodes ago doesn't happen. And it's luckily we're able to have a bigger team now and more people to work with that'll help us and shit like that. But
yeah, and that team.
By the way, I do want to say you're the most nonchalant guest we've ever had. Whenever you say, like, if you see Meek Mills and you're like, oh, okay, well, that's just Meek Mills.
Yeah.
I was like,
But, I'm old, bro. Like, I look at it like this. That dude's not going to feed my kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, why? Oh, like, you're a good rapper. No, don't get me wrong. Like, but like,
I ain't gonna be shook by you.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, let me run into Elon Musk. I'm gonna freak the fuck out. Like, yo,
I'll be like, bro,
I
hey,
need to
say
talk to
something
you.
for the podcast real quick. Record.
Joe Rogan, what's up?
Because that's what, because we're on money. You know what I mean? We're not on being like groupies. Like, it's like I want to meet people, and that's another thing. You gotta get your circle. You gotta meet people who are on the same wavelength as you. You know what I mean? Like y'all are doing with the podcast. You got more people coming. You need to find people that are in that same lane, and you help each other build up. That's basically what we do.
That's what I try to tell people all the time. Like, no matter who comes out here, we blow, they blow, everybody gets attention. It's a win-win situation. Ain't nobody gonna lose out of this. Cool, yeah, maybe we don't go beyond Austin. It's years in the future, worst case scenario, but still, like, ain't nobody lose out on this shit. You don't have to spend money to come here.
Yeah, exactly.
The gas, like, it's not a scenario where, like, you're losing anything in it. Like, if we blow up.
And we do provide the bottles.
Yeah.
But shout out Treaty Oak. Treaty Oak just provide us for liquor.
Like I said, I've been getting drunk with y'all right now, but I'm trying to stay sober.
A future episode.
I've been drinking since I was like 12, so I had to kick it like 3 or 4 years ago. And it's a crazy story. So all of our birthdays are like in the same month of like the end of September to the middle of October. Like every single day is somebody's birthday for like 12, 13 days, right? So we're partying and partying.
Stop for 2 weeks.
Yeah, basically. So like we're at my homeboy Noel's party and we're at Foxy's and we reeled in a keg in here. We were doing every night reeling in kegs in this place. Go ask them. I'm not lying to you. Probably got it on camera somewhere.
I think the last time that I ran into you was at Foxy's. Like, this was like 2-3 years ago, and I was talking to you about. I don't even remember what I was trying to get you like to talk about or post or whatever. But I ran into you at fucking Foxy's.
Yeah.
We were going there for a minute after 6th Street or whatever.
Yeah, I was probably fucked up. At Foxy's,
yeah.
But I was sitting there drinking, and I was like, you know what? This is too much. I just sat down, and I'm talking about it was probably like 11:30, 12 o'clock. It was still early. I just put my cup down. I was like, I'm not drinking no more. I don't even fucking, like I just drank myself out for like 2 weeks. I was like, fuck this shit. It was like South by South. You know how you get fucked up South by Southwest the whole week?
Dude,
It was
I
like
miss
that.
South by South. Just going
Next year is making a comeback. So.
The Fader, man. They done fucked up and gave us 2 tall boys at the Fader. Well, I was fucked
we
up
used
at
to
the Fader.
bootleg passes.
That's all it takes. That's all it takes is fucking tall boy.
By 2 o'clock, we were fucked up. We don't know no business. We don't remember the whole rest of the day. Man. Shit.
I don't care who I run into. It's over.
Mm-hmm. But that shit, like, I don't know. That shit's cool, though. Yeah, it is cool running into them people, you know what I mean? Like, because, like, my kids
fun.
be like, hey, you want to take me to the closet? I want to go see such and such. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck that is. You know, what I mean? All them new rappers, like, I guess I sound old or whatever, but I don't know those guys. You know what I mean? Because I'm not into the music like that no more where, like, every day I'm
different
picking
world
up.
now.
Yeah. So there's somebody will be there. And who was there the other day? What's his name's artist?
Oh, I know.
Wiz Khalifa's artist.
Yeah, Wiz Khalifa's artist was down. I
What's
don't know
his
his
fucking
name, but he
name,
was
dude?
there. Trippie Redd's been over there. Young Dolph's artists, all of his artists be over there.
All they freak out about
Houston and shit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
at the
the one in
closet.
Houston.
Shouts out to
Shout
Mike
out to
Mills,
Mike Benzino. Yeah.
Benzino, Shy.
Yeah, Phoenix.
Phoenix.
All them boys, like, yeah.
That's the closet in Houston. That's the team out there. You know, shouts
You know,
out
we
to
be out, like I take people over there and they freak out because TV Johnny, it's
yeah,
TV Johnny. Like he be walking around all day,
Just
like
be chilling.
It's Johnny, bro.
Diamond
Like,
Boys.
you know what I mean? Like
I'm gonna have to
he
pull up.
cool.
We're going to Houston, so we have to pull up. So.
Yeah, y'all go check it out. Man.
Well,
We're
shit,
right
me and
upstairs.
Dirty did all the desk and tables in there, all the badass shit you see.
Yeah, we
Me
did all
and this
the
dude,
design.
we did that.
Cause see, like people don't know that I know how to do all that shit. Like he's a rapper, Cause that's it. They think I'm a rapper, which I am. You know what I mean?
That.
But I don't. I like Jumbo. He posts like he'll go do closets and shit like that. He'll post it. I won't post that shit. You know what I mean? But like I'm there building it with him. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Cause I like that stuff.
I grew up. The scenes of that.
Yeah.
Behind the scenes.
I grew up doing that shit. You know what I mean? Like I was running heavy machinery when I was like 7, bro. I was doing fucking
excavating and shit.
Yeah, excavating, dropping septic tanks and shit.
Damn.
Like that's my mama, bro. Like, shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm wetback for real, man. Like, you learn, but you learn. It's funny. When we started doing concerts, nobody wanted to give us venues. So we were like, we're going to find a field. Yeah. And we would build our own stages and set up our own lights, and we'd come out and fucking do concerts. Yeah. And it turned into big parties, and that's where our following came when we finally went to Ruta Maya's. Because that's why we went to a coffee shop. Nobody wanted to give us a chance. Nobody. And then we were fuck-ups back then, bro. Like, we were finally, hear stories, we were fuck-ups. We were always fighting, always fucking shit up. So nobody wanted to fuck with us. We started doing that shit ourselves, and then we were like, all right, we're not fucking nothing up no more. It's ours. You know what I mean? So, like, it became a cool place for everybody. Like you said, for the LOEGs and the Murder Squad and, like, a whole bunch of people. Like, a lot of artists came out of
Lane
that.
back then.
Ooh, yeah. Northside Legends.
Yeah,
man, them
Shouts
guys.
out Jamie.
Oh, man. Rest in peace, Ice B.
Ice B, yeah, for
them
sure.
Them boys right there had it
Shouts
too.
Shouts out to Smackola, Dirty Worms.
Smackola, Trampia, like I said. Like,
Trampia.
See, those two guys.
Antone.
Those two guys don't get no credit, bro.
Trampia
and Smack.
No, yeah.
Trampia done put on.
Trampia put on the whole South Side. I don't care what y'all want to say.
Trampia's been doing a lot for a long time, like a lot.
Mm-hmm. Every time I try an interview comes up, I say that shit. You know what I'm saying? I give that man his props. That man put me in the game. You know what I mean? Like, that man taught me.
I'm pretty sure that man's going to be out there tomorrow right over at on the east side.
At the park, yeah. Hell yeah. He better be shit. That's, that's home. But, like, that's I'm saying. You don't see that a lot. Like, people don't give each other the props. You know what I mean? Like, because YMR, them boys was doing that shit way before me.
Young Mexicans on the rise.
James Dean, back when the back room was popping. James Dean put us on our first major show.
He had all them Texas rap shirts too that helped come up with that.
Mm-hmm. See, me and James knew each other from the streets and before rapping, and his dad put him in charge of the fucking back room, and he was like, "I'm going to throw these big ass concerts. You want to get on?"
Coldest white boy ever.
Yeah. Hey, man, that guy's a legend too. He don't get his props either, but hey, he put me on stage with people like Devin the Dude, Scarface. He had fucking, training him up there. He had, you name it, like big artists.
That was the venue back then.
Yeah, like I've been on stage with anybody you could think of because of James Dean. You know what I mean? Like we were on, like I said, with Kevin Gates, Young Scooter. Like, man, I could fucking write a whole book of people that I've met through James Dean. You know what I'm saying? Like I met Point Blank through James Dean. That we friends now. You know what I mean? Like I said, just like that dude knows people. You know what I mean? Like that guy. I met Chameleon and Paul Wall through him like that. Like James Dean knows people, but they don't get their props. Yeah. But like I said, I don't really see too much of a scene right now. But then again, I'm not out there either. But like I said, y'all, hey, that boy Chino Loke, play his shit. You're gonna be like, oh wow. Yeah. That's some Austin shit right there.
Definitely. Do you have a positive note? Because I feel like this whole episode's been a positive note. Everything you've been spinning is.
I mean, I don't know. I try not to post negativity.
Yeah, no worries.
I couldn't tell you. Like I said, I mean, fucking follow your money first, man. But don't stop chasing. People always laughed at me, and they thought it was stupid. You know what I mean? Like nobody would have ever thought that I'd have got as big as I did.
It's like when SPM said they laughed at me when my bumper fell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Same story.
And shout out to Rashid, my boy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
shouts out to Rashid.
Like
Black skin.
You never know. You can't win if you don't play. That's all I tell you. You can't win if you don't play. How you gonna win the lottery if you don't buy a ticket? But I don't condone that because I don't like gambling like that. But like
shoot your shot. You never know.
Yeah, you never know. Like you could be the next Joe Rogan podcast. But if you had never bought the microphones, you would never be nothing. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yep. I would rather fail and try and fail and try than to sit with regrets.
Look back and think, damn, I could have done that back then. I could have,
because I have regrets now to where it's like, man, because I could have done shit and I didn't because I was too caught up in the streets.
But compared to what you've done, like
yeah. Well, that's like I said, it's like I had to snap out of it. It's like I'm gonna fucking be in these streets for the rest of my fucking life and be a fucking loser, or I'm gonna do something with myself. Fuck it, I'm already losing. Let me try to win. You know what I mean? And thank God it's been working out ever since. You know what I mean? Like, so it worked. Like you said, it worked enough for y'all to ask me to be on a podcast. That's, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's a guy sitting at home right now that probably out-rap the fuck out of me, but he ain't try. Yeah. So he's not here, you know what I'm saying? But he's probably sitting at home like, I'll kill that motherfucker on the microphone. Well, do it. You know what I'm saying? That's all, just do it.
Work harder.
Yeah, just do it. Like, there ain't nothing but to do it. If you don't do it, if you don't try, you ain't gonna win, bro. And
do it to it, yes, sir. Yeah. I agree. Well, I'll take a shot to that, brother, because I love the work ethic that y'all have always had. Mm-hmm. It's definitely a huge influence in what we do.
Wait, before we end it, coming from the top list, Alonzo's Tacos or Tom Gross Tacos?
Tom Gross.
Yes! Let's fucking go.
Which one? One of them is closed now, isn't it?
Alonzo, for a reason. I tell you what though, I fuck with Alonzo's.
What's your taco
pie.
spot though? The one you took me to?
Marcelino's.
She put me on to Marcelino's.
Sounds good.
That shit's fucking smacks.
Hey, my boy Maru Castillo, AC3 Originals. He did all the signage out there. So
wear your mask way.
Hey, shit, do y'all go to Casa Moreno's though?
Yeah.
The buffet only thing. The buffet go hard.
No, I used to go to Casa Moreno's to get the suicide burrito.
Yeah, in the morning.
Yeah. Like any morning, especially Tom Grow, like I'll go there, get the breakfast tacos, and then people were like, Alonzo tacos are better. I was like, I like Alonzo's, but I mean, Tom Grow Tom Grow's where the fuck is that, bro?
I don't think
Tom
they've
Grow
ever
is the
been to Tom
equivalent
Grow's.
of Video Super.
Shit, we used to always go to Ray's Barbecue.
Yeah, a long time ago. But nah, Tom Grow where it's at, bro. Like Alonzo's, they're all right, I guess. They was all right. I actually live right there on Felix, so it's like, I guess I got burned out of Alonzo's just around the corner. But
you tired of it quick?
That kind of Southern Frito pie to head. Hey, I'm going to bring that shit back, bro. That shit was good. But everything else was...
Well, Mr. Dirty, it was a pleasure to have you on. Jumbo as well, Dove Don. I'm excited for that run that you have ready for Dove Don and the next generation of Poverty Island. You guys need anything from us, holler.
Yeah,
I'm all for it. I'm Mario from the South Side.
I'm Troy.
Well, it's your boy Dirty Brigante. Follow me on everything.
Jumbo Brigante. Across all the platforms.
And we're out.
Watch time keep ticking and the world keeps spinning, but we stuck here cause the game don't ever change, cause the game don't ever change. We grew up in the gutter when life was cold, in the winter it was freezing, so we turned on the stove. A lot of things I went through, I wish I could change, but it made me who I am, all the struggle and pain. Mama called once a week to see if I'm alive. She know how the game goes, trying to survive. I was a young broke nigga, couldn't even get a fade, and I don't like to dream about getting paid. But now I got enough to buy my whole hood clippers. That's why you always see me throwing money at the strippers. Life's so good, I don't want it to change. I ain't rich, but I'm barely broke, trying to maintain. Only a step away from success, I can almost taste it. Rapping was my dream, so I finally got up to chase it. Pushing forward, trying to leave nobody behind. But I drug up far enough, homie, get on your grind. I watch time keep ticking and the world keeps spinning, but we stuck here cause the game don't ever change, I watch time keep ticking and the world keeps spinning, but we stuck here cause the game don't ever change, cause the game don't ever
I'm 21 on the block, already facing retirement, sort of feel like I'm tired of it. Product of my environment, giving the requirements in the streets where the cop sees us. Will I ever make it up to meet Jesus? If fuck the rain, matter of fact, it's hell in this place we call hell. But when money time in Texas, don't act like you can't tell.
See, I done been there and done that. I done slang with a slung crack, and I done whipped up that comeback.
Well, spending time sticking, cause clicking and hit licks, and I done felt it my whole life to be up on this shit list. The game ain't gon' change, see, it's just simple and plain. It's gonna stay the same, trying to change the game, but it can't. It's just an ever-living cycle up in a circle and stopping. Hood niggas throwing sets, blood niggas what's poppin'. Hood niggas know this shit, cause hood niggas got the hood at heart. And our hood ain't never been good from the start.
I watch time keep ticking and the world keeps spinning, but we stuck here cause the game don't ever change, I watch time keep ticking and the world keeps spinning, but we stuck here cause the game don't ever change, cause the game don't ever change.
Most things remain the same, chasing my change. I learned as an adolescent how to flip cocaine, earn quite a bit of cash. I wanted more, the summer of '84, a real gangster was born. Mama, I know the life that a son had in store. Got a regret the day she cut my umbilical cord. that's